Gaming news today is all about sales. First, Expedition 33 has hit a huge milestone, and it seems now more than ever that this game is headed for Game of the Year in 2025. And are there any games this year that can challenge it? Second, Doom the Dark Ages is hitting a much lower sales volume than I and many other people expected. What's the cause of this? Is it the game? Is it Game Pass? Are there lots of different factors? We will discuss that. Third, while we wait to see where the new Nintendo Switch sales will land, a new development is deterring some would-be buyers, and it has to do with Nintendo being able to brick your console. I will also, at the conclusion of my show open, we will be looking at the Elden Ring Nightreign review roundup. We'll see where it's landing. I haven't looked at it yet. I predicted this wasn't going to be a particularly strong showing for FromSoft. I feel like people are going to be a lot more tepid to it. We'll see if my prediction is right or wrong. We will take a look at that in a moment. And I do have a game for your wish list and your radar that just hit PS5. I'll give you some first impressions. My wife and I played it last night with co-op. Now, if you like this content, you tune in on a regular basis, you enjoy the talk show, I'm able to do this full time because of support from people like you. So consider supporting directly by clicking join. Be sure to pick Member Plus. If you'd prefer to support on Twitch, you can do that, especially if you have Amazon Prime. You can use your Twitch Prime every single month. You do have to do that manually. If you can't do any of the ways to support monetarily, remember to hit like and subscribe. And don't forget, coffee drinkers, Reforge Roast has been around for a while. We brought it back. We have a light, medium, and dark roast. So go to reforgeroast.com and you can support me that way as well. It's not a sponsor. My wife and kiddos ship it to you. It's like supporting a small business. So there's a lot to get into. So let's get into the first one. It's hard to ignore coincidences, especially when they happen for a game that is seemingly enjoyed by everybody, and this one was just too hard to ignore. After 33 days, Expedition 33 has hit 3.3 million sales. That's a lot of threes. And just for fun, the soundtrack hit 33 million streams after 3 weeks. All fun coincidences aside, these numbers actually speak to just how well this game is doing across all spectrums. And when I thought it was a Game of the Year contender before it released, just based on trailers, I thought this thing would get a nomination. I had no idea just how strong of a contender it would be. At this point, the only game that could potentially unseat this for Game of the Year is probably Death Stranding 2, but that's looking slimmer and slimmer with time. What do you think? Is Clair Obscur Expedition 33 the Game of the Year for 2025, or can something else take it away? And how do you feel about the incredible sales for such a small team? You can let me know in the comments below, or you can come discuss it in a live stream. And speaking of sales, we also have to talk about what is going on with Doom the Dark Ages, and this one's a bit of a damper. As much as I'm enjoying Doom the Dark Ages, it does not seem to be landing as strongly as expected. According to reports, the game has sold less than 1 million copies, and yes, they already boasted of 3 million players. But that then begs the question, why are the sales so much lower? Well, the easiest answer would be to say, well, 2 million people are checking it out on Game Pass. There's a lot of Game Pass PC subscribers, there's a lot of Game Pass subscribers on console, and they're playing it there instead of buying it. But it really raises concerns when Hi-Fi Rush boasted of the same number, 3 million players. You know, that number was thrown around, and then the studio was closed down. And they were much smaller. They were probably a lot less expensive to keep open than id Software. Now, the hope would be that Xbox views id Software as simply far too valuable given their history, and they also have helped with other games. We know that they helped with Starfield and the shooting mechanics. So, what do you think about these sales numbers? What do you think is contributing to it being quite a bit lower? Let me know in the comments below, or you can come discuss it in a live stream. And also on the subject of sales, there's something that might hurt the sales of the Nintendo Switch 2. Well, Nintendo continues to try to make the Switch 2 as unappealing as possible. If you thought $80 games was bad, well, you've not really seen anything yet. Eagle-eyed users spotted something in the End User License Agreement, or the EULA, and it says that Nintendo can make your device permanently unusable if you break their license agreement. Now, obviously, the average user is going to shrug this off and not be concerned. They're not going to try to do anything nefarious with their Switch 2. But this is not a ban from a game that you are maybe cheating in, where you just have to play something else. This is the company saying, if you break our rules, we can brick your device. Now, obviously, what they're going to do is they're going to view it as you breaking the license agreement to use their software, And if you can't engage with the software, you're not going to be able to use the device. I don't think they're going to like make the thing smoke like in Mission Impossible or something. I would just hope that they would only really be able to wield this power when someone is trying to like steal games, because that would obviously fall into a legality issue, and that feels like a legitimate issue to restrict the use of the device if you're trying to use it to literally break the law. But a company having this level of power feels dangerous and unprecedented. If, game prices going up is one thing, because that's something that a lot of companies are doing, but reserving the right to brick my device if you feel I broke the rules, my question is, how loose are these enforcement instances? What if someone makes a nasty or negative video about a Nintendo game? They don't have the greatest track record in this department. They really like suing people as well. I'll be honest, Nintendo is making it hard to be a Nintendo fan. I love their games, I love their property ever since the first Nintendo Entertainment System. But suing the Pal World devs, the new version of digital game cards, these patents they're doing that are bad for game development, and now this? They really have been the giant in the corner of the room that everybody ignored. What do you think? Is this a deal breaker for you? Are you still getting a Nintendo Switch 2? Let me know in the comments below, or you can come discuss it in a live stream. And now I've got a game for your wish list and your radar. And this is one I've told you guys about many, many times, and it is called Roboquest. It's basically like a Borderlands meets Rogue game. It's really fun. It's been on Game Pass for a long time, and it finally came to PS5. I was waiting for that so I could play it with my wife. My impressions right now is they have made some great improvements since the last time I played this game. I don't remember there being difficulty options. If those were there, I never saw them. Those are a great addition, because if you're just wanting a casual romp with like your couch co-op partner or somebody that you play with online, we set it to the lowest difficulty just to see how it felt, and it was really fun. We got much further than we ever had when I played with my nephews, because the game does get pretty hard. We were able to maintain our health pretty well. We did go down periodically, but it was so much fun. The boss fights have great mechanics, the movement, the different guns, the different perks, the different builds you can get during a single run. This game is well worth your attention if you like games like this. My wife and I always enjoyed Gunfire Reborn, but we really felt like the difficulty made it hard to enjoy, because if you wanted to get into like the seasonal content, you had to beat Gunfire on like the harder difficulties, and we weren't interested in that. We like to play pretty casually. So check out Roboquest right now on PS5. I think it's like $25, and we will definitely be playing it again. That's the incentive this week. If you guys hit the goal, if you hit the first stretch goal, we will play some Roboquest for you on Friday night for the Friday night streams. Now, I'm also going to throw together a bit of a review roundup right now for you. Elden Ring, Nightreign, Metacritic. We're going to throw this together for you just on the fly. I'm going to do my best to give you guys a very quick sort of, on-the-fly review roundup. And I'm going to the sites right now to do that. Okay, it's landing right about where I thought it was going to land. Okay, so here we go. Elden Ring Nightreign is currently getting a 78 after 51 reviews on PlayStation, meaning this score will not move very much. That is where I was thinking it was going to land. More tepid, more lukewarm. I don't think people are going to be coming out of their skin for this game. I think this is going to be a pretty significant drop in what we typically see with praise for FromSoft games after Elden Ring, especially. PC, it's getting an 81. Xbox not having a lot of reviews is kind of par for the course lately. More and more people are moving their reviews to PC and PlayStation due to, Xbox's saturation issues. I've noticed that trend really taking hold this year. OpenCritic, it's landing at a 79. So let's try to quickly grab some of the more positive ones and some of the more negative ones. Let's see. CG Magazine, Loot Level Hill, Gamers Hero. We can go to The Gamer for a 90. Let's see. Let's keep going. Let's try to find an 80. And we'll just go through the whole spectrum here. This again, to me, is not surprising. From what I saw, glad to see Game Informer back in the mix. Welcome back, Game Informer. We're so glad to have you back. And hopefully they can remain very much operating independent from their owners. I think we'll get much better reporting from them than other outlets. All right, Digital Trends gives it a 70. Let's check them. Okay, IGN gave it a 70. Okay, and then VGC gave it a 60. Let's make sure that's an actual 60. No, see, that's 3 out of 5 stars. Hang on. I want to get a genuine 60. We discussed this yesterday, how these aggregate tools don't work very good for the 5-star. because I don't know what they think a 3 is. It's an overly clumsy attempt. Okay, this is a negative review. All right, this is a negative review. We'll use this one, and we'll throw this little review roundup for you guys together. Let's just go. Let's try to get one more. Holy mackerel! Critical Hits gave it a 40. We will include them. All right, here we go. So let's take a look at the gamers. They gave it a good one. They say, Elden Ring Nightreign review. You're worried about the Nameless King. He's the easy boss. Okay. Guys, make sure if you're watching on YouTube that you are smashing that like button. I did turn off the automatic thing that's been kind of a pest lately, and that's probably going to hurt us a little bit, so we'll see. Let's go down here. So they gave it a 4.5 out of 5. Pros and cons, okay? Every Night Lord is a spectacle to behold. It's hard to get angry dying to such glorious displays. Co-op's more intuitive than ever, foregoing the archaic summoning system. Some of the most poignant character stories with intricate personal questline that evoke Lucatiel and Solaire in the best of ways. I don't know how to pronounce those. Status effects finally feel impactful, baked into each final boss. Relics make even defeat feel valuable as you're able to fine-tune a build better suited for whatever boss you're struggling with. Matchmaking could be unreliable at times, especially when playing cross-region, so that's a con. No cross-platform play, at least between Xbox and PlayStation, is bizarre for a 2025 multiplayer game. I would agree. I wonder if that's going to be a permanent thing. That seems incredibly stupid. Bosses often felt too spongy, which with bad gear could turn fights into exhausting wars of attrition. Okay, so even a good one has some issues. Okay, Game Informers was a little bit lower. They reviewed this on the PS5. Let's go all the way down here. See if we cannot get a good summary. All right, we don't need to learn about Lunchables. So they gave it an 8. Okay, Nightreign is at its best when I'm at my best, which means From Software's take on the roguelite genre needs to meet me halfway, leaving its frustrated misgivings at the round table hold. When the matchmaking works, when the map randomness gives me my trio of fighting chance, and when the storm doesn't punishingly throw an unfair wrench into the expedition, I'm excited to rise to the challenge. The reward for my efforts is the mastery, knowledge, and adrenaline I spent dozens of hours building in Elden Ring, condensed into a single run, and every success is a visceral and glorious as the last. So here's the thing. This right here, starting with this, when the map randomness gives my trio a fighting chance, and when the storm doesn't punishingly throw an unfair wrench into the expedition, I'm excited to rise to the challenge. In general, I think this is going to be pretty putrid in the mouth of a lot of FromSoft fans. I don't think they're going to like this. I think they're going to turn their nose up to that sort of a thing. Now, Rogue fans will love it, but are Rogue fans having a great Venn diagram of crossover with FromSoft fans? Like how many are like, man, I can't wait to play a Rogue version of Elden Ring? Do you see what I'm saying? I think this is a terrible cocktail. This makes me never want to play the game other than to show it to you guys on Friday. This sounds terrible. And this is a positive review, by the way. They gave it an 8. So let's keep going here. All right. Let's see. Okay, so they've got, I think this was like a 70. Yeah, they gave it a 70. So they say smart roguelike loop, strategic teamwork, memorable weapons, exciting new bosses, poor onboarding, inconsistent performance, archaic matchmaking. That's interesting because somebody else said that, they said that the co-op is seamless, but the matchmaking was a problem. So it sounds like the matchmaking has been a problem before. It sounds like it's been a problem before, like in other games they've had issues with that as well. Or I'm sorry, in other reviews the people had issues with the matchmaking. Oops, that's the wrong one. Let's see here. Elden Ring Nightreign is an overly clumsy attempt to craft the multiplayer antics to one of the best RPGs ever. While its roguelike elements may entertain, a lack of variety and uneven combat system ultimately makes for a curious sideshow that doesn't come close to the series that shares its name. Expedited character building works well in the context of Nightreign. Final boss designs are some of the series' best despite their gameplay shortfalls. The game is gorgeous and features multiple interesting maps. So it seems like the boss design is great, but the gameplay itself is not. Somebody else was praising the actual bosses for like looking cool. Okay, cons. The game demands you sprint through. The novelty wears thin quickly. I thought that would be the case. Final bosses aren't just difficult, they're unfair. Oof. Performance issues on PS5. Content is repeated constantly and becomes stale fast. These are all things that I was kind of worried we were going to be running into in this game, and that it just wasn't going to land. I don't see this landing with the FromSoft community very strongly at all. Let's see. It's an extremely difficult game to recommend, even for longtime From Software fans. Nightreign's greatest merit is the Lords of the Night, but everything else has serious problems that directly impact the experience. If you have 2 or more friends who have played From Software games before, you might enjoy the game due to the co-op factor, with people that you like and the base game being good, which is the combat from the original Elden Ring. But these 2 merits that are not attributed to Nightreign itself, and relying on them to try to sell a game, is not a good choice. I think that's well stated. Like, if that's the primary draw, a lot of people are going to say, I've already experienced that, and I can experience that in an even better way and just go do a rerun of Elden Ring. Does that make sense? Like, if your main draw is co-op and combat, I mean, you can do that in regular old Elden Ring. Final note, they give it a 40. Lords of the Night is a pro. Fight is a pro. This is being translated from Portuguese, by the way. Cons, repetitive. Variety in the bosses of the game nights. Runs too long. Bad story. Various issues with multiplayer. Excessive reuse of assets, FPS drops and crashes, no crossplay. I mean, I'm not going to say I told you so, but I kind of told you so. I said from the very beginning, I was like, I don't know about that game, y'all. I don't think it's it. I don't think people are going to vibe. People aren't vibing. So we'll see how the community responds. The review outlets could have it wrong, and the community could think it's the greatest thing ever. So... yeah, dude didn't have a good experience. No, he did not. So, guys, we don't even have 100 likes yet. You got to help me out. You got to help me out on that one. When I'm reading and going through all those things, I can't be monitoring the likes. We need those first 100 likes. And I have some people to thank. Hang on one second. So, Michael jumped back in as a member plus before we were even live, so I need to add that to the total. And then Joker Quinn, Han shot first, and so did you, takes us to 4. And that adds 2 to the total for the week. We are exactly a 10 bomb away, but then it's going to jump to 68 because Shiny Red Flag renewed their Prime sub over on Twitch. Thank you so much for doing that. So it's currently tied up between the 2 platforms. And I've got a good one for you guys. A really, really good. A huge stretch. The first goal is the Friday night stream with Madam, and the one after that is Madam and I will play some Roboquest, and then the one after that is some music, okay? I got another full song to let you guys hear, and I wrote it about some recent events, and I think you guys will really, really like it. So I worked really, really hard on that last night and this morning. I was like, okay, I want to give him a banger. Marathon makes an appearance in this, surprisingly. Well, yeah, that trailer was probably put together months ago, Narwaffle. That trailer was probably put together by PlayStation months ago. I don't think PlayStation has any control over that, right? They've pulled their... And a 5-bomb comes in from Siege Master on Twitch and says, we're going to take an early lead, and we are now... on the cusp of the next milestone. We are 2 away. Whoever hits it gets it. And Sci-Fi Nerd's going to make it a close one by renewing for 32 months. Thank you so much. And we are now 1 away. Member lights don't count, lazy nerds. So you're going to have to upgrade if you want it to count. I moved over to Twitch, but still supporting. Well, thank you so much. If you are paying for the member light, you are not getting into the green room on YouTube. That's like a gifted tier, so you will need to upgrade. You don't have to upgrade, but that's something we would continue to push for. So thank you so much for those of you that renew. And Joker Quinn is gonna steal it. He is gonna steal it. Well played, Joker Quinn. He gifts one and he lands the plane on 375 exactly, giving YouTube the 5 members that I currently owe. Thank you so much. Every milestone can be taken by either platform, so I appreciate you so much for doing that. Welcome, everyone. Wishing all a great day. What's good, Fierce Fairy Gaming? How are you? Don't forget to support Reforge by liking. That is correct. Don't ever forget to like. The turnout's going to be really low today. I turned off automatic ads because I think it's terrible, and that's going to hurt us, and the news is slow. That's going to hurt us. We got to put this stream on our back, and we got some people that are going to do it. Pat Puck with a 5-bomb, and Siege Masters playing for both teams today, and he does a 5-bomb as well and gets us to 385, and then that puts YouTube in the lead over Twitch 15-10, and Mash comes in with the 5-bomb. We got a bit of a 5-bomb train that we're working on right now. We'll see if you guys unlock a full song for Friday night. I've been working on music. Some of you guys have listened to it and liked it and heard it, and you want more. I've been writing some lyrics using AI. It's actually really impressive. It's been very cathartic and enjoyable, and the song that I wrote for Friday night specifically as an incentive for y'all, I think you're going to enjoy if we can hit it. So thank you guys so much. 500 unlocks Friday night, and then we do stretch goals beyond that. We did that last week, and we had a blast. You guys got to hear a lot of music. Thank you so much, Tyler Johnson, for 46 months as well. He gets us to 391 by renewing that VIP. Thank you, sir, for doing that. I appreciate it so much. Back to work alert. Thank you, Siege Master, for the support, man. That's crazy that you're gifted on both platforms like that. We knew the show sucked. They went and played the game. See what happens. What are you talking about? I understand. Oh, you guys are talking about something else. And MASH with a VIP renewal, 23 months. Remember to hit the like button. Thank you, MASH, for almost 2 entire years of support. Not just your own membership, MASH, but you go above and beyond and really have impacted the culture here and just supported me and my family so much. Is it Synthwave? No, it is not Synthwave. If you listen to the last Friday night stream with Madam, there's a ton of it there. It's more like, if you ever listen to like classic like Under Oath or I don't know who to relate it to. It sounds like that a little bit, but it sounds like a lot of other bands as well. It's like a mixture of a bunch of different influences. Good morning. Would you play a sample of your music? You want a sample of the music? We do that on Friday nights with Madam. That's kind of an incentive. Sven says bullet for my Valentine. Yeah. I write the lyrics. Not so much Norma Jean. Norma Jean's pretty heavy. Yeah, some Killswitch Engage influence is definitely there. Linkin Park influence is definitely. And a 10-bomb comes in from Pathalon Phoenix. I see what you're doing, Pathalon Phoenix. He's poking MASH. He's like, hey, MASH, I see your 5-bomb. And there it is. He takes the second milestone of the day. That's an Agent of Chaos. Reinventing Your Exit or before that. Like their very, very first album, it sounds a lot like that. Like really clean vocals and then some screaming and then some clean vocals, like driving drums and guitar. It's been really fun for me. I'm not like trying to become like an artist or something. It's just been very, very... And a 10-bomb comes in from MASH. He says, I'll see your 10-bomb and I'll match it. There it is. These two titans battled it out yesterday. And they are apparently doing it again today. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate it. So yeah, you can go back and watch the past broadcasts. I'm not going to do it during one of these shows. That's an incentive for Friday night. It's something I'm doing for just, again, it's cathartic, it's enjoyable. And then Lone Wolf's going to gift a member over here on Twitch and putting Twitch a little bit back in the fight here. The contest between the two is so tough because YouTube's got so many heavy hitters. And then Eugene's going to hit 44 months of memberships and gets us to 414. Thank you so much, Eugene, for that continued support. I appreciate it very, very much. And then a single from Lone Wolf. Lone Wolf's going to gift to both platforms. He's going to get to both platforms. But that's a really, really nice setup. We are now exactly 10 away from 425. That's the next milestone. A 10-bomb would steal it. Whoever hits it gets it. It's your time to shine. It's your time to shine, Twitch. You might not win the actual head-to-head battle, but you can steal those gifteds away from YouTube by hitting the milestone. And then a 3-year resub from Super Gaming. Super Gaming, thank you so much for doing a VIP. I'm going to drop the 10 that I owe you guys now. Thank you so much. There you go. I appreciate that. You guys are the best. And there's a hype train going on Twitch as well. We need a new HBJ country song. That would be funny. What's going on today? There is not much going on. When we looked at the Nightreign review roundup, it's pretty lukewarm. I didn't think it was going to do that well to begin with. I kind of said that from the beginning, and it's landing about where I expected. Who's Madam? M-A-D-A-M, Madam. Like, her original name when she was on the show quite a bit more was Madam Crumpet. The reviews aren't good. It's got like a 78 on Metacritic. That's, to me, that's pretty far down from, like, Elden Ring's reception. Right? Like, the original Elden Ring has a 96 on Metacritic. Yeah. 78. People don't seem to like it. It's really, according to them, it's pretty repetitive. It's got some performance issues. It's not great. It sounds like the RNG doesn't really enhance the experience. It seemed like, this is kind of how I put it. Like, the Venn diagram of people that like FromSoft games and people that like the randomness of rogues, I don't know how much overlap that Venn diagram has. I think you're going to have people that are like, I like rogues, I don't like this, I don't like FromSoft games. And then you're going to have people that like FromSoft games, but they're going to be like, I don't like rogues. Like, if you think about, like, what the more committed people think about the FromSoft games, like, the more committed community in what they do, they like knowing the parameters and the rules. It's how you had somebody like Let Me Solo Her emerge as a cultural phenomenon. It's how you have people doing no-hit runs, naked runs. Why can they do that? Well, because the game has parameters and rules that you can work within. The minute you turn that upside down, topsy-turvy, and you got RNG and a storm system and stuff, I've said for a while, I'm like, I don't think FromSoft fans are going to vibe with that. I think they might play it for like a week and be like, that was kind of wild and fun like a mod. But then if they want to play Elden Ring, they'll just go right back to Elden Ring. You see the new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle co-op rogue? There was one my son and I tried, and we didn't like it all that much. It got really, really hard. I think the new one, I don't know, I didn't know the new one was a rogue. You said that when they first showed it? What did I say when they first showed it? What I'm saying right now? Yo, thank you so much, Nova, for 42 months. And Nova Hands comes in with the one bomb, he says, with a vein bulging scream. Thank you so much, Nova Hands, for adding 1 to the total. Nova with the one bomb. Thank you so much. Oh, about Nightreign? Yeah, I feel like I did a video. Maybe I didn't. I feel like I did a video, and I was genuinely surprised at, like, nobody cared. Yeah, I did Elden Ring Nightreign concerns on February the 19th, and it got terrible results. Like, it didn't get a lot of views. Anytime we've streamed anything about Elden Ring Nightreign, we have not gotten very good turnout. If I talked about the base game of Elden Ring, it didn't matter. We could be playing it. We could be checking out the DLC. We always got great results from the base game of Elden Ring. But the Nightreign was like a non-starter. Like, people just didn't care. You know? Sony said there would be a state of play showing gameplay for Sorrows. Do you think that will be upcoming event or later in the year? Oh, here, let me show that on the screen. So at any point during the stream, you guys can utilize the Q&A function. That is a perk of being a member or a sub. You just type ! question, then submit your question. Minstree says, Sony said there'd be a state of play showing gameplay for Sorrows. Do you think it would be an upcoming event or later in the year? Now, Housemarque phrased it later in the year, but they said that like a couple of months ago. So that could be any time now. I feel like it would be later. I don't know. I feel like it would be later. It's hard to know. I have a terrible track record of predicting what PlayStation's going to do because I can't freaking tell. I can't tell. It's like right now, my current prediction is that today or tomorrow they announce a state of play for the 5th to kick off Summer Game Fest. That's a Thursday night. And then they're going to do like a showcase in September. I could be 100% wrong. Yo, Thick Filet, one of my favorite names to say. Thank you so much, Thick Filet, for bumping the line to 418. Appreciate you, man. Renewing your sub on Twitch. Guys, if you have Amazon Prime, use those Twitch Primes over there. It helps me and supports me. And also, let's, as quickly as we can, get to 200 likes. Okay? I turned off the thing that was annoying everybody. It was annoying me. It was annoying you. It's going to hurt the video a little bit. So you got to help us out, man. Smash the heck out of that like button. Warhawk with 19 months says, good morning, Lone Jack. Yo, thank you so much, Warhawk, for getting us to 419. Thank you very, very much for that. I think you're disconnected from the Elden fan base. Randomizer runs are some of the most popular content for streams and videos. This is fair pushback. It's not fair pushback. No, it's not. You just reinforced my argument, and you don't realize it. If you can go do randomizer runs in Elden Ring, why would you pay money for a brand new game that's going to do it in a way that's being described as not really any better, if anything worse? Do you understand what I'm saying? Why would you buy something that's kind of been around for a while as a mod? And again, you're like, oh, well, people love it. I don't know, because you can't do it on console. Okay, your pushback's fair, but you're wrong, because look at the response. Now, you could be right, and this time next week, the game is soaring, and the player numbers are crazy, and I'll eat crow and say, I was wrong. The FromSoft community loves Nightreign. I don't think that's going to be happening. I really don't. I don't. Historically speaking, I don't think games score like this and get this kind of a response if it's a banger and the review outlets are just all out of touch. I mean, this is the same circuit of reviews that gave Elden Ring, the base game, a 96. And I think the DLC scored so high, it got a Game of the Year nomination, which we debated about. I don't think I'm going to be wrong on this one. I think I've got this one. I think you guys are, I'm not saying it will. I'm saying don't count them out. No, that's fair to be like, they could still pull this off. The community could still rally behind it. Life 4 of 9. Thank you so much for resubscribing on Twitch. Guys, we are exactly 1 5-bomb away from me having to pay up and owe somebody a 5-bomb. Whoever hits it gets it. All right? If YouTube does the 5-bomb first, they get it. Twitch, if you do it, you get it. I'll pay up immediately, too. I'm going to start doing them a little bit faster. Let's see who snags it. Just because the randomizer is the most popular download, it doesn't mean that people want a rogue, and it doesn't mean the randomizer is actually popular in the grand scheme, says Eugene. I think that's fair. I also think a randomizer is not a rogue. I think that's even a better pushback than what I said. I think that's a better argument than what I said. Yeah, a randomizer is not a rogue. Right? There are still parameters within the randomizer. Like a rogue, you can literally die because you get bad loot, bad perks, or the storm does something goofy, and you're dead. Like your run is scuffed because of something that's like random. I don't feel like the randomizer is equal to that. That's what I'm saying. Like, people enjoying the randomizer, I think they're going to rub up against that as a rough edge, and they're going to be like, this is lame. It just means among the people who mod Elden Ring, they like the randomizer. Did Amazon Prime sub not show up? J.D. Kent. No, I'm not seeing it. You have a badge. You're not the first person to say that, J.D. I'm not sure why some of them are not showing up. Mash says, I'm not interested in Elden Ring anymore. It was a cultural moment that everybody was playing at the same time, and great while it lasted, but I moved on. I'll tell you something else that could work against this. Is just general fatigue, because people played the ever-loving snot out of Elden Ring, and then the DLC came out, and people played that. And you literally could be dealing with people that are like, I'm good, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think, in general, that's going to be the main marks against Nightreign, like fatigue, but I think that might play a role for some people. Some people might be like, dude, I don't have any interest in this, like, at all. Hang on, I got to give Creature the show open. Okay, show open. What's today's date? 5/28/25. There you go. All right. Show open in frame. Too much Elden Ring? I'm not saying that's a huge factor. I'm just saying it could be a factor for some people that they're like, hey, yeah, I've just had enough. You know what I'm saying? There's probably people here right now that feel that way. They're like, man, I put a lot of time into Elden Ring and a lot of time into the DLC. I'm a little Elden Ringed out for now. You know what I mean? Just watching Oro's review, and it seems like it'll be exactly what I was expecting and what I wanted, says Ashen. Just a fun slice of Elden Ring. Focus on combat and some build crafting and some story. Yo, Tubbs Gaming, thank you so much for 2 months of subs over here on Twitch. I appreciate it. We're inching closer and closer to that next milestone. 4 more members, and I have to pay up. Anybody can steal it. I have to pay it to Twitch or YouTube, depending on who hits it. I definitely have a tendency to know life games and wring every last ounce of gameplay out of them. I get full enjoyment, but when I'm done, I'm done, says Nova Hands. I'm definitely all set with Elden Ring for a good amount of time. Happy to wait a few years. I wonder if how full the year is could play a role as well. You know? Guys on YouTube, take a real quick second and make sure it's saving your thumbs up, it's saving your like. We're going to make this work. We're having a totally fine day given how the news cycle is slow right now. And you guys have been turning out and really, really supporting the show. And I appreciate it very, very much. Yeah, I saw that the Mind's Eye CEO is saying that people are being paid to be negative towards his game. No, mate, your game looks like crap. I'm sorry. No one's paying anybody to say that. Listen, if people are being paid to dunk on your game, where do I sign up to get that money? Because I've been dunking on your game since I saw it. I think it looks bad. I don't think it looks good. It looks incredibly rough around the edges. It doesn't look like a game that's coming out in 12 days. And you let people do a preview of your game that was rough, and people admitted it was rough, and then you didn't provide them with a lot of B-roll to even use in their videos, and the game was like 2 weeks away. How do you not have a mountain of B-roll for a game that's coming out in 2 weeks? No one's being paid to dunk on your game. I'm getting tired of these CEOs that just talk like buffoons on Twitter and in interviews because their game's not doing well or their game is getting some guff. Like, shut the frick up. Like, make a better game. Make a better game. Like, make trailers that don't look like somebody built an asset flip in Unreal for a college project, and then you expect everybody to sign up and play your game. It looks amateur. It doesn't look good. I feel like the lack of interest we've seen is indicative of the market as a whole. Why you bash my game, bro, right? Like, what game's he talking about? Mind's Eye. That game has looked total Bush League fishy from jump. From jump, I have said that something is off with that game. It doesn't pass the smell test. They just had a preview event where Maddie Plays editor had to literally say in their video that, like, they weren't provided that much footage. What do you mean? The game's supposed to come out like in 2 weeks and you didn't have a ton of footage to give people? Yeah, Randy stepped in it, but Randy was being reckless, not being conspiracy theory idiotic. Right? It's one thing to be a little bit reckless about the price of a game and to say what he said. If you go watch what he said originally when he was asked about this on the one panel, his answer is much better. These guys are saying the most out-of-pocket stupid things like, oh yeah, people don't like our game because woke, people don't like our games because culture war, people don't like our game because they're being paid. Shut the frick up. That's not happening. It isn't. Your game doesn't look good. It's that simple. And then you let people preview it, and they said that it was rough around the edges, and then you didn't provide them with a lot of footage for their previews. Listen, you worked on GTA. You got to know better. You got to understand the context that we now live in. No one's going to fall for your nonsense. This isn't 2014 where you could show up to E3 and flash a bunch of quick montages in a trailer and be like, yeah, our game's awesome, right? And then everybody pre-orders. No, the process of viewing a game before launch, we see so much of a game now before launch. It's why I knew that Clair Obscur Expedition 33 was a Game of the Year contender. I knew it was. Why? Because they showed us a ton of the game. They had a ton of trailers. They had a ton of footage. And it was like, look at that thing. It's a work of art. People are going to love this. And then it came out and boom, it was great. Right? Like, we see so much of a game now before it comes out. You can't pull these shenanigans where, like, you put together a hype trailer and then everyone's just going to pre-order your game because they saw some explosions. No, we live at a time where you do the announcement trailer, you do a gameplay trailer, you do previews, you let people do reviews, you have an embargo a couple of days before. We have preview embargoes now, boys. We get to see an awful lot of games and about them and how they're working, how they're running, how they're feeling before they're out. And you want to walk into that market and that context with a very, very rough-looking game, and then you tell people, check out our gameplay, and it doesn't look like gameplay some of the time. It looks like it's been, like, pre-rendered, or, I don't know, it looks like you're pulling some kind of shenanigans, and then you let people do a preview event, and they're like, yeah, it's rough. This is kind of it's in a rough state, and then you don't provide them with a lot of B-roll. Expect people to be negative about you. That's on you. That's on how you entered the market. You came to market with all that stuff, and it's landing flat. Well, then do better. If your game's so good, why don't you release like 10 minutes of uncut footage of somebody just playing the game? Do it. Like, this feels like the day before all over again. It feels like the day before. It's like your footage is fishy, it's super sliced up, and now you're saying insane things in the public. Like the day before, devs just lied to the public, and this guy's out here being conspiratorial. Oh, people have been paid to be negative about our game. What? Clair Obscur Expedition 33. It's like Tribe Called Quest or Pimp Named Slickback. You got to say the whole thing. It's a work of art. I see. No spoilers, please. Yeah. Did you see one of the leads crashing out on the Mind's Eye Discord claiming Rockstar is paying YouTubers for bad press? That's what we're talking about. Like, imagine the level of stupidity to think that a company the size of Rockstar would be wasting a single cent on paying people to crap on your Bush League looking game. No Nightreign coverage today? I mean, we did a review roundup. Nobody cares. I mean, the Nightreign coverage has not done well for us once, and even today, we quickly moved on from the discussion. Like, everyone was just kind of like, people are like, well, it could do well, maybe, but yeah, it's got like a 78. You missed it? Yeah, you could go back. I read through some reviews and looked at Metacritic. It's not doing that great. I don't think people are that interested. We were talking about it for a little bit, and the subject quickly moved away from it. I just don't think people care that much. I hope people that were looking forward to it have a good time. I don't think the general public is all that interested. Perfect Image submits a question about Mind's Eye. If Mind's Eye, based on screenshots and gameplay, what game does it remind you of? Kind of like a knockoff GTA. I don't know. It's GTA at home is what it looks like to me. Frank says, with initial Doom sales info, can we put to rest the idea that multi-platform launch guarantees success? I don't necessarily think the situation with Doom is ammunition in that argument. You know me. You know I love arguing for exclusives, and I love showing people that, like, going multi-plat is not some guarantee of, like, you're going to sell more games automatically. Like, you're going to make more money, period. I mean, you can type that at the end of your sentence, but it doesn't settle the issue, right? You don't automatically make more money when you go multi-plat. You don't. Because you may end up spending more money on the development cost and the increase in bandwidth and making the project take longer, and then you end up making less money, because making money is not just about revenue, it's also about profit. Profit margin eludes these people because they don't think beyond their face. They just jump to conclusions. I was so hot on Mind's Eye at first glance, said Donnie, but the red flags in the last week. Donnie, I said from the very first trailer that something didn't smell right. I mean it. I've developed a bit of a sixth sense for this kind of thing. I was one of the first people to do that with the day before. I told people, like, this footage doesn't look real. It didn't look real. I'm concerned about the one Crimson game on console. They've said they've made breakthroughs with their engine. Okay, we will see. That Crimson game, I don't know. What did Del Walker say on Twitter? That he knows a crazy group of devs or an insane group of devs when he sees them? I'm like, yeah, this thing looks ambitious as frick. I don't know how they're going to do it. Yeah, Sven, replaying the game is probably going to make it even worse. Yep. Yep. 5.0 Trey Gaming says, since retiring my Series X, I'm really enjoying my PlayStation Pro. As gamers, why do you think there's so much hate for the PS5 Pro? Well, I mean, I think a lot of the hate was driven by ideology. I think that people are more concerned with... I think a lot of people are just audience captured. They have to say what their audience wants to hear, and they can't admit that it's a good device. They can't admit that it was actually a really good price for what it promised. They can't admit that it's an impressive piece of equipment. They can't admit that the results speak for themselves. Like, I think AC Shadows with global illumination has been one of the most compelling arguments in the discussion. I think it's compelling. It's a third-party game, and just look at it. That's running on a what right now because of the sale. That's a $650 device. If you feel like trading in your console, it's like a $200 to $300 device. And look at the performance you're getting. The conversation around the Pro, I don't think it's ever not been stupid. Like, there were just so many people that were more audience captured. And look what's happened in the wake. Like, no one can admit how good it is. Well, not nobody, but the people that argued all that about the price and you could build a PC and it'll knock that out of the water. Well, then do it. And nobody did. Nobody's done it. Nobody's done side-by-side benchmarks with these alleged computers that you could build for $700 that would kick the crap out of the PS5 Pro. Nobody's done it. There are really easy games to do it with. You could do it with any of the PlayStation ports. You could do it with Assassin's Creed Shadows. That's a third-party game. Because people are always like, oh, well, that's not fair because those games are specifically made for the PlayStation 5. Okay, you just inadvertently argued for the value of the PS5 and the Pro, but let's set that aside for a second. That's just dizzying logic. Let's just use AC Shadows then. Do it. Build this alleged $700 PC that's so great and so amazing and just kicks the crap out of the PS5 Pro. Go build your PC and then do benchmarks in AC Shadows. And I want you to get the same performance I get out of the Pro. Turn on global illumination, set it to the same resolution settings, get it set up identically, and let's see the benchmarks. Let's see how well your rig runs. Let's do it. Nobody's doing that. It would make for great content. It would be super informative to people who are considering buying budget PC or a Pro, but no one will do it. Linus Tech Tips did? No, he did not. He used used parts. He admitted in the video it wasn't possible. He admitted in the video it was not possible to do it. And even then, what he built did not keep up. Like, you got one video, and the guy admits in the video he can't even do it. So it's like, well, where are all the other videos? So now all they'll say is that you're a fanboy. They'll resort to just ad hominem. They lost the debate at a technical, objective level. We're talking about objective facts here. These are measurable things. That's why the conversation about the Pro has been brain dead from the very beginning. These are objective things. This is not opinion. I'm not saying it's worth it. I'm not saying you should buy it. That's subjective to the user. These are objective facts. At a technical level, you can break down what resolution, what frame rate, what everything you're getting out of a game on the Pro, and then you can do the exact same dadgum thing on a PC. These are zeros and ones, mate. It's black and white. There is no subjectivity here. And none of these people had the stones, the integrity, and I guess they just didn't want to put their money where their mouth was, that nobody wanted to do it except for Linus. And Linus had the honesty and the integrity to say in the very beginning of the video that it's not possible. He had to cheat to even get close, and even then he didn't do it. That's what I don't get. Why is that not the conversation? Why is that not the conversation? You know, tech expert, PC expert, fails to build a PC as good or as strong as the PS5 Pro for $700. Why is that not the conversation? Well, no, of course that's not the conversation. It destroys the mirage. It destroys the illusion that these audience-captured, dishonest buffoons are stuck in. They're stuck in a mirage. It's like you got to maintain this idea that pro sucks, pro's a scam. You got to maintain that, because the minute you let go of that, what are you going to tell your audience? That you're an idiot, that you lied, that you don't know what the frick you're talking about? These alleged experts, this alleged master race, they seemingly know less than retard gaming. That's what they call me. They know less than me, apparently, because I've said from the beginning that the thing would be disruptive, that it would be incredibly compelling at that price point. You don't want to be dumber than Lono. That's embarrassing, isn't it? Because you called me an idiot for a really long time. You don't want to be dumber than me. You're falling down pretty bad. That's the conversation that no one's having. Dave says also, if someone's going to use used parts, that means they need to compare the price to the Pro and not a new one. Right. You're going to go aftermarket. You're going to go third party. You're going to go used. Like that again. That again is idiotic. It's idiotic. Really quickly, I want to look at what Ginger's saying about the Switch. Really quickly, guys, smash that like button. Try to get us to 200 likes. Try. It's a slow news day. We need a little bit of help in the like count. Ginger says, Switch 2 drama. If it's anything like I see in my comment section, it made me go, oh my. Yeah, their eagle-eyed observers have noticed that in the end-user license agreement, Nintendo can render your device unusable, which they're going to do licensure loophole software to do it. What they're going to say is, you broke the license agreement you have with us, you can't use the software, and that renders the device, you can't do anything with it. Like if you booted up a Switch and it's like, nope, you broke the license agreement, you don't have access to the software. Well, now what are you going to do with the device? Now, they're not going to like make it smoke and burn like, you know, like Mission Impossible or something. Like, oh, it's dead now. But there are people that think that's a bit of an overreach. I think it's only legitimate if somebody's actively trying to or successfully stealing games. I think that's a legitimate time to be like, no, you can't use our device. We're not going to be party to that. You're not going to use our device to steal. But outside of those instances, I'm not sure about that. Rendering the OS inoperable. Basically, the way that it reads. Here, I'll read it. I'll just pull it up on screen and I'll read it to you guys. Let's do this. Okay, so it's this bottom part. Nintendo may render the Nintendo account services and or the applicable device permanently unusable in whole or in part. Okay? So what's going on is this license agreement that what they're saying is you can't publish, copy, modify, reverse engineer, lease, rent, decompile, disassemble, distribute, offer for sale, or create derivative works of any portion of Nintendo account services. Bypass, modify, decrypt, defeat, tamper with, or otherwise circumvent any of the functions or protections of the Nintendo account services. So see, this is about Nintendo account services. If you mess with this, mess with it, replicate it, subvert it, blah, blah, blah. Now here's the one that's gonna bother people. Obtain, install, or use any unauthorized copies of Nintendo account services. Oh no, that's totally fine because that's stealing. That would be, yeah. I thought it was gonna say obtain, install, or unauthorized like applications. Because my issue is, what if somebody jailbreaks their Switch and they want to install like a third-party music player or something? Like, I don't freaking care about that. That person's not really doing anything that I think is like wrong or out of pocket or whatever. But like, is Twitch going to reserve the right to brick that guy's account and his Switch because he installed a music player? Like, if you're doing it to steal, I don't care if they break your Switch. Frick you. Like, seriously, you're a thief. You're a parasite. You can frick all the way off. I have a disdain for people like that. You're a parasite on the industry. I don't care if they brick your device. I hope they do. I hope you lose money and have to buy another one. That, to me, is just as glorious as when, like, scalpers lose money. That, to me, is excellent. That's justice. Like, that's what should happen to thieves. Like, I have no respect for people like that. But if you're just trying to jailbreak the device to like install your own stuff on it, or maybe you've got some, software or something, or maybe you want to be able to tamper with the settings of the games, or maybe you want to install something that like does a frame rate counter in the corner. I don't know. As long as you're not stealing, I don't freaking care what you do with the device, and I would hope that Nintendo would not brick your device simply because you did those things. However, you know full well going in that if you do that, you are breaking the agreement with them. And if you agree to abide by their terms of service and then break the rules anyway and then suffer the consequences, I would have a hard time feeling sympathy for you. It'd be like, well, you did it knowing what might happen. I don't agree that they should be able to do it, but I also am kind of like, how do I have sympathy for you? You know that you shouldn't have done it. It's like when my kiddos are having a disagreement and one of them shoves and the other hits back and the one that gets hit is like upset. I'm like, yes, they shouldn't have hit you, but you asked for it. What do you want me to do? Like, you initiated the fight. You see what I'm saying? It's like, yes, he shouldn't have hit you, but you shoved him. So you had to know there'd be a reaction. So it's like, yes, I don't think they should brick your Nintendo because you jailbroke it to install an app that you like. But you did it knowing that they might do that. Like, if you buy this thing and you know full well they can brick it if you break the rules, that's on you at that point. The best thing to do would be either not buy it or not do any of that if you're really worried about it. Emulation isn't stealing for games you own, it's legal. Yeah, I haven't even talked about emulation. I don't know enough about emulation and the legalities to speak to it. I think a lot of the people that like defend emulation and celebrate emulation, I think a lot of them use that as like a veil to they are stealing. I don't think a lot of these PC Master Race guys that brag about all their emulation, I don't think they're going to Target and buying copies of Nintendo games to do it legitimately. I don't think they are. Like, the number of people that have these enormous Nintendo libraries on their PC and the number of people that have stolen the games, that Venn diagram is a circle. I think every single person that boasts of this huge Nintendo library on their PC, I think they've stolen the games. There's probably like 1% of that group that actually does it the legitimate way. And you go and you buy it and you're like, I bought the game, I own the game, I'm going to emulate it so I can play it on my PC. Yeah, you're probably 1% of that group. Because if you look at people's libraries when they kind of brag about it and they show it, it's like, bro, you didn't go and buy all those games. There's no freaking way. Like, there's no way. You're just like scrolling through like every Nintendo game that has ever come out for the Switch. Yeah, I'm sure you own all of those. So. And I don't care. I don't care about emulation, and I don't care about bricking the device of someone who, not emulating, if someone's device gets bricked because they're literally stealing, I'm fine with that. Screw you. You should have your device bricked. Frick all the way off. I can't stand people like that. And they you want to get self-righteous and high and mighty about stealing software. Just shut up. Like, I'm not interested in listening to you justify thievery. Like, come on. Again, I'm not talking about emulation. I'm talking about actual people who are going to steal the games. Like I mentioned in Morning Coffee, I feel like I'm one of the few people that dumps my own ROMs. Oh, I would bet that you're in the minority, brother. Yeah. Yeah. Yo, what's good, Ghost in the Garage Gaming? Ferrari puts a bunch of ridiculous contractual stipulations on their cars after purchase, so I know going into purchasing one that they are ridiculously strict, so I don't buy them. Right. Yeah, if you buy it knowing that that's the rules and you break the rules, I don't agree with them bricking it over you just like jailbreaking it, because again, if you just want to install like your own, software or something, I don't care about that. I don't think they should brick it, but you know that they might, so you're the one taking the risk. Like, it's hard to feel bad if you get bopped on the noggin for it. And a single gifted comes in from Mick D09. Guys, I've got a banger for you. I've got a really, really good song for Friday night. You guys are going to want to get to stretch goals this week. You're going to want to. You're going to want to hear this whole thing. I'm just going to say it, all right? everything that kind of transpired in the last 24 hours, I decided it was time to do some more writing. So, Ginger says, "I'd love your thoughts on this. The majority of the comments mad at me for buying a Switch 2 all talk about Nintendo's anti-consumer practices. Any thoughts there?" I would need to know what they think is anti-consumer. If they think that, like, raising the prices is anti-consumer, then I guess I would ask them, are they no longer buying, Xbox stuff? And a 5-bomb comes in from Ginger, and he secures the 427, which 425 was the next milestone. He secures the next milestone for YouTube. Whoever hits it gets it, and Ginger hits it. Thank you so much, Ginger. Talk your talk. I'm just going to tell y'all it's good. That's all I'm going to say. I'm going to leave it at that. You guys are going to like it. You guys are going to like it. It's been very cathartic for me to get into, like, lyrical expression of, like, everything I've been through. And, yeah, it's been very, very enjoyable. And I enjoy writing. I really do. It's something that's fun. That's a part of me that's been sort of slumbering for a long time. Okay, yeah, so back to Ginger's question. Yeah, so Ginger, I would want to know what they consider to be anti-consumer, because if it's just like raising the prices, it's like, well, everybody's doing that, so are you going to boycott everybody for raising prices? So let's setting raising prices to the side, because I don't think they're saying that. I don't, which is funny, because I guess PlayStation's the only, what is PlayStation your bastion now of consumer-friendly? Because if raising the prices is anti-consumer, then you can't go to Xbox. They just raised their prices. They're talking about $80 games. You can't go to Nintendo. They're doing $80 games. Wow, how the tables have turned. I guess PlayStation's not that bad. Anyway, that's comical to me. If they're talking about some of the other things, like this EULA thing where they can brick your console, we would need to see it play out before we say it's anti-consumer. They're just reserving the right to restrict your access to their software if you break the rules. That doesn't seem that different than like anybody else in the market right now. It's just tied to the device. But it's also kind of like, how is it not tied to the device? If they make it so you can't use their operating system, what are you going to do with the Switch? You can't do anything with it. I mean, you could if you break it down, jailbreak it, and make it into a different device. Yo, I know what Stone Spire's doing. Listen. This guy did this yesterday, and nobody gave him what he wanted. He's going to do 3 singles. He's going to get us to 430. The next milestone, okay, is 450. He wants a 20 bomb. Somebody grant this man his wish. He did this like 4 times yesterday. He is the best. You are super faithful, Stone Spire. Thank you. Nickel and diming with accessories. That's not anti-consumer. Anti-consumer, first and foremost, is a misnomer. It's a completely made-up term that doesn't make any sense. There's no such thing as anti-consumer. Everything that these companies do is pro-profit. Whether or not you agree with what they're doing is fine, but that doesn't make it anti-consumer. I'll continue to say that anti-consumer is a misnomer. It's a philosophical position that doesn't have doesn't have a ground to stand on. It's just a made-up term that consumers state when they don't like something. Okay, you don't have to like it, but I don't know what anti-consumer is, because I don't know what pro-consumer is. Pro-consumer is nothing. If you think a company's pro-consumer, then you're a sucker, because everything they do that makes you think they're pro-consumer is in the effort of profit. They're just trying to get your money. Amazon lets me return things very, very easily, not because they're pro-consumer, but because they want my loyalty. They want my money. Anything PlayStation does that gets me to keep giving them money isn't pro-consumer, it's pro-profit. You don't like the prices of the accessories of the Nintendo Switch? Okay, sorry, that's not anti-consumer. You just don't like the price. You think it's too expensive. Again, that's subjective, and what you're supposed to do as a consumer is not buy it if you think it's too expensive. Hang on, I got to thank Raven. Raven, thanks for 40 months on YouTube. That's a lot of months, Raven. Ginger says, the question I'd love to know is how many people are mad about Switch 2 were even planning on buying one in the first place? What's dude talking about? The question was posed. Ginger was getting heat for buying a Switch 2 because people were saying Nintendo's very anti-consumer. And I would need to know what they mean. Are they talking about the $80 Mario Kart? Do they think that's anti-consumer? Do they think the price of the Switch 2 is anti-consumer? I don't know what they mean. First and foremost, again, I don't think anti-consumer is a real thing. I think it's a made-up term to just express dissatisfaction as a consumer. Like, that's all it is. Like, if you go to a restaurant, and part of that restaurant's, like, shtick is to be rude to the customer, you could be like, well, that's anti-consumer. They were very rude to me. Okay, but it's part of their shtick, right? It's part of what they do, and some people like it. So that's subjective. You look at something and you think it's incredibly expensive. You're like, that's anti-consumer. I'm not spending that. But the guy next to you is like, I think it's great. I think the price point's fine. A $2.50 tip from Doug Bowser. Corporations are not your friends. Thank you so much, Doug. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, if you don't like the price of something, that doesn't make it anti-consumer, because the consumer next to you might be like, no, it's totally fine. I'm willing to spend that. Mash says, personally, I disagree. I think anything that reduces prices, gives more for the same price, offers better return policy or services for the same price as pro-consumer, but I disassociate it from when they do it. Right, but again, Mash, their efforts to do those things to make you feel happy and satisfied are actually in the service of profit. You benefiting is sort of like, it's like a secondary thing. Like, yes, that's what they want. They want you to feel happy, and they want you to come back. Is lying to consumers not anti-consumer? Well, lying to consumers would be something that would be considered unethical. It would be in the category of scam. If you scam the customer or mislead the customer, that is getting into the area of business ethics, and then would therefore be viewed as unethical and wrong. We don't need a term anti-consumer. We have perfectly good business ethics and standards that protect you from being lied to. You can't sell somebody something on false pretense. You can get sued for that. False advertising, scams, like, this is something that companies get taken to task for. Monopolies are anti-consumer. Monopolies are not actually anti-consumer. Monopolies are actually anti-competition, which is in turn bad for the consumer. They're actually in the service of getting rid of competition. They're not in the service of harming the consumer. The intentionality of a monopoly is actually to eradicate competition. It's anti-competition. The consumer is then therefore harmed by it. But the effort is not like, we want to hurt the consumer, we're anti-consumer. The effort is, we want to hurt our competition, we're anti-competition. Which again comes back to, it's in service of profit. Tomato, tomato? I don't think it's tomato, tomato. No. I think these categories are very important, Lobo. Hang on, I got to thank somebody. 44 months from Crispy Bogod VIP. This feels like such a non-issue. Why buy a Switch to jailbreak? You can buy a ROG. Nintendo's are Nintendo for Nintendo games. Yeah, I'm not quite sure why you would buy the Switch 2 to jailbreak it and use it as a handheld device. You're primarily going to buy it for Nintendo games. I tend to agree. We are again still 20 away from the next milestone. Our boy Stonespire keeps setting these 20 bombs up. Somebody help out this man. That's your opinion, not fact? No, actually, I'm speaking in the realm of fact. If you were to take a business course on these things, what I'm saying is actually in the realm of fact. These are how these things are defined. Monopolies at their core are anti-competition. That's quite literally how they're defined. Like, it's not about being anti-consumer. Yes, we have regulations, we have protections, we have consumer level protections that then therefore say competition is good and in service of the consumer. Your opinion, not fact, sorry. No, you haven't falsified what I'm saying. You're just asserting that it's my opinion. You haven't falsified what I'm saying. Falsify what I'm saying factually. You can't. Because I'm speaking in fact and you're not. Like, these are facts. What do you mean? Anti-consumer is just a made-up notion. It's not something that is factual within the realm of discussing business ethics. If you want to discuss business ethics and scamming or misleading customers, then use those words. Those are the words that you would use. The only way you can have accurate communication is using terms and words that we've agreed upon. And anti-consumer is so nebulous and so loosely used, it's worthless to you. It doesn't serve it's so purposeless. It's like, did they lie to you? Did they scam you? Did they steal? Did they mislead you? No? Well, then what are we talking about? Those would be in the realm of business ethics and scam and fraud. It's still your opinion, not a fact. You're not arguing. You just keep repeating the same thing. You seem to lack the ability to argue. You can't just keep saying, it's my opinion. Try to falsify what I'm saying. Do you understand what argumentation is? You need to falsify my claims. You can't just, oh, it's your opinion. It's your opinion, bro. Like, okay. Don't try to put lipstick on a pig, bud. I mean, you're just being condescending. I don't want you to hang out here. Bye. Adios. You're not engaging in conversation. You're just being smarmy. I don't have an interest in talking with people like you. Trey Gaming with a plus renewal says, so glad I found for myself that this is a great place to hear the truth about gaming. Salute, Lono. Your community is awesome. Thank you so much. And then that is going to bump us to 57. And then that is going to bump this to 432. And Quintar's going to do the 20 bomb. He does it. Hang on. I messed that up. This is 32. And now it's 52. The next milestone smashed by Quintar. Thank you so much. And then Haseo is going to bump the line by 1 and get us to 53. You guys are well on your way. Stretch goals are going to be easy. They're going to be easy this week. Hang on. What did Mash say? Let me see. Lone Wolf liked what Mash said. Give me 1 second. I got to pull it up over here. Mash says, for me, them profiting or why they do it doesn't factor into if it's pro or anti-consumer. I just look at how it affects the consumer, only not why they do it or value to them. Okay, so linguistically, Mash, this is why I don't like it. Haseo, I know what Haseo's doing. He's taking a page out of Stone Spire's book. He's going to bump this to 455, and he's going to get us 20 away from 75. I owe YouTube another 10 bomb, and I'm going to do it now. I'm going to just start doing them every 10. Because you guys earned the 5. Wait, didn't Twitch steal? Who stole? No, YouTube stole. I owe YouTube 10. Here's why I don't like that linguistically, Mash, okay? If, I'm trying to think of a good analogy. Give me a second. I'm rattling this one around in my brain. Because I'm coming from the realm of intention, okay? Anti-consumer sounds as if you're speaking to intention. And that's where I don't like it. I'm like, well, now hang on a minute. Like, the intention of the company, they're not posturing anti-consumer. Right? Haseo gifts another one. I'm not sure what Haseo's doing. Haseo's just going to do a single train. He's just doing a single train. There it is. 456. Haseo wants the he wants that 20 bomb to be an agent of chaos. Okay. I don't understand why that guy was banned. We want conversation here. He didn't say anything out of line. The guy was right. You can spruce it up however you want. Monopoly hurts consumers. That's not what I was arguing. You can have an hour. That's not what I was arguing. I wasn't arguing Monopoly with him. He just kept saying the same thing over and over, and he kept calling me bud. He was just being condescending. I don't want to engage with people like that. It's annoying. They're just trying to be smarmy to irritate you. They're not engaging in good faith. So you can question bans and then get timed out as well, I guess. He made no counterclaim. I requested that he counterclaim, and he didn't. He just called me bud. That's just somebody arguing in bad faith. They're just here to disrupt the conversation, and as have you, so now you're timed out. I'm not allowing people to do that anymore. I'm not. It's just irritating. I'm here to have conversations with people in good faith, not people like that. By definition isn't a universal one, though, says Mass, so I can totally get how you think about it. For me, intention isn't a factor. It's just, does it benefit or hurt the consumer directly? Agents of Chaos? So Agents of Chaos is when you push us past the milestone by like 1 or more. So the next milestone is 475. So if somebody did a 20 bomb, that's an Agent of Chaos. They didn't get us to 475. They got us to 476. It's just like I hit this little button here. It's just fun. It's just something goofy that we do when we're working on the milestones, and I'm gifting in response. Okay, so here's the thing. I totally get where you're coming from, Mash. Here's the challenge, and this again is why the term, I don't like the term. I like really, really bright lines and categories. That's not a bright line or a category. It's nebulous. It's subjective to the individual person, okay? What most people do when they say anti-consumer, they're using it as a pejorative against the company. That company is anti-consumer. They're not saying, oh, well, these decisions have resulted in something that is bad for the consumer. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, you're being nuanced and careful, and nobody typically is with this terminology. They're like, well, Nintendo's anti-consumer. Why would you support them? Now we're in an us versus them dialogue, and a 20 bomb comes in from MASH, and he does the Agents of Chaos 20 bomb. You love to see it. Absolutely insanity. 99 on the day for YouTube. So, what MASH is saying, I have no problem with. I'm like, yes, there are things that companies do that I would argue, well, yeah, that's not good for the consumer. That limits consumer choice. That limits consumers' options. Maybe it's too expensive, so you have to save, right? The absence of intent is not a requirement for something being anti. I believe the way that the terminology is used, James, it has a presupposition built within it that the company is against the consumer. It's anti-consumer. It's talked about in us versus them categories. This is why I don't like the term. Okay, I'll give you another analogy. People throw around the term pay to win so liberally that it doesn't mean anything anymore. Pay to win can literally be an XP boost in a PvE game. That's stupid. That's stupid. We have stupided ourselves. That's fun to say. We have stupided ourselves. It's like, well, now the term doesn't mean what it really used to mean. What it used to mean is a culture and a game that makes it so when you pay money, you win against another player. That is insidious and predatory and manipulative and bad. It's corruptive to the game. It's corruptive to the spirit of a contest. But calling pay to win, oh, you can buy XP in a PvE game, you've now taken the term and kind of ruined it. It's like, that's not at all bad compared to what the original term was used for. So when you say anti-consumer, you might mean something, and this guy over here means something completely different. That's why I don't like the term. It's like, it's confusing. It's like, well, what do you mean? Do you mean that the company's bad, unethical? Are they dishonest? Are they anti-consumer? Are they against the consumer? Or do they just price something at a level that you don't like? Like, tell me why Nintendo's anti-consumer. Oh, $80 Mario Kart. That's not anti-consumer. It's just a price point that you don't like. That makes everything anti-consumer, because anything can be at a price point that you don't like. Do you like the price of gas? Do you like the price of milk? Do you like the price of eggs? It's anti-consumer. Like, you see what I'm saying? It's very difficult to get to an understanding in the conversation, because I'm like, I don't know what you mean. It's why I don't like it. I respect your view on it, but terms can be somewhat ambiguous or vague and confusing, admittedly. They can be, but our effort in conversation should be to clarify those things and then have understanding. And that term gets thrown around in a way that makes it difficult to do that. It's why I try to push it out of the conversation, and I'm like, give me the specifics. And a 50 bomb comes in from Pathalon Phoenix. Unbelievable. These guys are titans. 526. You guys are already working on stretch goal. Okay, so stretch goal is multi-perspective Roboquest. Madam and I will have to play. I'll set up the monitors. We will showcase some Roboquest for you guys Friday night. And a 50 bomb comes in from MASH. These titans are battling it out today. Back and forth. Unreal. That makes this... What is that? That's that we just put a 1 in front of it. Good golly. The 99 became a 199 in the blink of a dadgum eye. Let them fight. And Stonespire is going to do a single. Oh, I know what Stonespire's doing. Stonespire is so fun in the mix, dude. I love it. Love it. He just gets in there and pokes the total. I know what he's doing. He's going to make it 580. You either get a filter for the mic or stop yelling like a toddler. You can't have both. Or I could ban you. I go to the side and it's got a filter on it. Like, I yell like over here. So enjoy the ban. You don't have to experience me yelling like a toddler anymore, because you're done here. So I guess enjoy not having to listen to me yell like a toddler, because you're gone. And there it is. Okay, so that's 580. All the singles coming in from Stonespire. Thank you so much, Stonespire. YouTube's deadly duopoly and anti-Twitch consumer. That's it. That's exactly right. And then that's going to take this to, what is that? 203. Yeah, that was 3 more from Stonespire. Thank you, Stonespire. No way, the compressor's working fine. The volume isn't going up. Just the fullness and intensity of your voice. F that guy. Yeah, thank you. I mean, actually, somebody who understands how we have the audio set up here. Do I have the compressor on? I think I just naturally do compressor. I actually don't have the compressor on. Yeah, I don't have the compressor on. I just go to the side. I come over here when I yell. I don't yell directly into the mic. I almost never do that. Lona was a sports commentator at some point in his life. I have professionally done shoutcasting. I have done that, yes. I did it for Fortnite I was in New York City for an Intel game night. I did that. I shoutcasted Fortnite for a charity event as well. And then I did it in my spare time. I was working to get hired to do those types of things. Welcome back, Ginger. So back to what I was saying. I don't like the term because I never understand what the person's issue is. So, Ginger, we're still on the term anti-consumer. And that's why I'm like, can you explain to me what you mean? Because I don't know what you mean. So when somebody says Nintendo's anti-consumer, I need them to explain it to me. Is it the EULA thing? Is it the license agreement that you think is anti-consumer? Is it the price of Mario Kart? Is it I don't know. Is it the price of the accessories? What is it? I'm loving this new anti-negativity approach and banning condescending people. They're just so disruptive. Let's just get them out and move on. There's so many people that want to argue in good faith. Why let one or two disrupt that? Like, why give them power? Just get out. He yells outside of the mic's pickup pattern. Never been a problem. Yeah, I've been doing this for a decade. I understand how to use a mic well. Like, this isn't like my first day streaming where I'm like, what's the matter, guys? Why? Why is everybody complaining about the volume? Like, I don't do that. I have a certain, decorum within the chaos of my, my vocalization. Capitalism has an anti-consumer baseline, so it's a muddy narrative. Yeah, you're taking us into a field that I don't feel like we're going to want to go. I don't feel like going all the way down to that foundational discussion about capitalism. So let's not do that. But this is why I can't do what you are doing, says Mash. I'd get too fed up by how careful I have to be in my terminology and what I say. Oh, no. I'm not saying that I have to be careful. I'm saying that's just, to me, the baseline of good communication. The baseline of any good communication and any good discussion are well-defined terms so that we know. So when I tell you that game is pay to win, that used to be really obvious what I meant, and now it's not. It isn't. When you hear a streamer or a gamer say, oh, that game's pay to win, you don't know what they mean now. You used to know what they meant, and now you don't. Why? And I fought tooth and nail against this, and I lost. Because people have muddied the waters of what the term means. It could be a PvE game with XP boosts, or it could be a disgusting, sinister structure of pay-to-win culture where you can't really win the game without buying card packs. Like, they're not the same, and yet we use the same stupid term. So now the term is useless. It's useless as a term. Or anti-consumer. What do you mean? I have no idea what you mean, because it's used so liberally. NVIDIA's anti-consumer, says Zubair. They sell different products under the same name, which will confuse unsophisticated buyers. So that would fall into the realm of ethics, which if the consumer is being, willfully misled or misled through obfuscation, confusion, tactics like that, I would say that falls under ethics and that falls under potential scamming or defrauding, which is not anti-consumer. There's categories for those things. Again, I feel like saying anti-consumer is just confusing at that point. You wouldn't say anti-consumer. You would say that's an effort to defraud, mislead, or scam. That's unethical. Anti-consumer gets thrown around for everything. It's like, well, prices are too high. That's anti-consumer. They're doing monetization. Anti-consumer. They have planned DLC. Anti-consumer. They have pre-order bonuses so you can play early access. Anti-consumer. Oh, for frick's sake. Like, You see the problem? Maybe it's because I sit in the chair and I absorb this like the highway going by. It's like boom, 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 and I'm like, everybody's using this term in different ways. I don't know what the frick it even means then. What does it even mean? So, back to the original question. Ginger's being given grief for buying a Nintendo because they're anti-consumer? I have no idea why people are giving him grief. I don't know what they mean. I don't know what they're saying. I call any attempt to deceive anti-consumer. Being greedy is not anti-consumer. How do you define anti-consumer? It's a misnomer. I don't think it's a word that actually means anything. A misnomer is a wrong or inaccurate name or designation. It's like it lacks accuracy. It's like it's inaccurate. It's not a good designation. It's like it doesn't make any sense. Like when it's used, it's almost always used as a misnomer. It's like, what the huh? Raising your prices? The anti-consumer. No. Scamming the consumer, I will concede, yes, you could label that anti-consumer. It's against the consumer. It is a thing that is set against them. Sure, it works there, but it's like, isn't it easier just to say it's unethical? It's defrauding, it's a scam, it's dishonest. Isn't that easier than saying anti-consumer? And, unfortunately, let's just take Zubair's classification. His classification's been muddied because other people are saying anti-consumer in efforts to basically criticize pro-profit efforts. Does that make sense? Like, this is right back to the pay-to-win analogy that I've made. Pro-profit efforts are being described as anti-consumer. Do you really think that's the time we should use the term? Shouldn't we use the term when a company is scamming, misleading, or defrauding customers? Isn't that when we should use the term? Not when someone raises their prices or is doing something that's clearly pro-profit? It's their job to be pro-profit. Like, calling that anti-consumer? You got to define it every time. Yes, and that's the issue with pay-to-win, and that's the issue with anti-consumer. The terms themselves have become so unhelpful because of the way that they're used. Who cares? I mean, you did enough to commentate and be here. We all do enough to discuss it. If you don't like what we're talking about, then leave. Like, why would you type? There's other content out there, brother. The people here do care. They're enjoying the conversation. To be fair, a lot of the people aren't smart enough to know or be able to accurately use the terms. They can be very dumb. I don't want to insult people's intelligence. What I'm trying to do is elevate the conversation above just like basic terminology mudslinging. In Nintendo, anti-consumer, PlayStation, anti-consumer. Okay, what the frick are you actually saying? What's the issue here? That's what I'm always trying to get to. So I don't know if Ginger was given any details from the people that gave him grief. Like, did they give him details? Did they say, this is how they're anti-consumer, Brian? User-friendly would be a helpful term. Well, see, the problem with user-friendly is commonly used within the context not of the product, but how it functions. I'm not trying to be pedantic, but for real, user-friendly is actually more accurately used within the actual function, like accessibility features and things like that. Yeah, user-friendly doesn't work either because it has a context where it belongs. It more belongs in like the ease of use of the product. Like, oh, that's really user-friendly. Once I'm in there and I'm a user, when I'm using it, it's very easy to use. They did these really nice, convenient things with the UI or the menus or the settings and stuff. Again, I'm not trying to be pedantic, but that's the problem. It's more of a UX term than like a term within, consumer business relations. It's a convo about semantics. We're all being pedantic. This is true. It's part of what we do here. People on Twitter are calling it hypercapitalism. I don't know what that is. Is it like running around really quickly? Is it hyper? I don't know. The stupid thing of us, says Soldier, is the need to put every single thing under an umbrella without discussing nuance. It's so frustrating. Why is way more important than what? Precisely, yes. The why is always way more interesting than the what. Wait, did Ginger reply? I feel like he replied. He said, no details. They just called me bad names and moved on with their lives. I mean, I think you deserve being called bad names, though, Brian. So, I mean, that's kind of par for the course. I've seen your stand-up routine, man. You're a very hateful person. You deserve it, you Ginger. Don't get me banned on Twitch for saying that, but it's true. Oh, golly. What's more anti-consumer, says Nova? Increasing prices to maintain profitability or leaving prices until a company fails and their product can't be offered anymore? One sounds more pro-consumer than the other. Here's the thing, okay? Good golly, Fuzzy. Is that the Winter Soldier? I mean, y'all know I'm... Is that the Winter Soldier? Is that the guy who plays the Winter Soldier? I'm straight most of the time, okay? He's not a snack. He's a whole meal. Holy crap. Anyways. Good Lord. When I was head ref at a paintball field, we would purposely advertise and offer soft shot over traditional paintball because we would make more money on each case of ammo. What would you call this? Soft shot is just a smaller paintball made for kids. Okay, hang on. I got to analyze this. I need more information. So you would purposely advertise soft shot over traditional paintball because we'd make more money. What would you call this? I would call that intelligent lead. Like you were leading with your most profitable thing. There's nothing wrong with that. It's only wrong if you lie. It's only wrong if you lie. If somebody said, do you have other paintballs? And if you said no, well, now you're a liar. So now you've done something unethical. You've misled the customer. If you lead with your more profitable thing, it's like when they do the brochure and they say this is your best value and the font's bigger and it's outlined in color. They're leading with the thing that's best for them. And honestly, usually it is structured to get you to upsell. Like when you buy V-Bucks, it's like you get more V-Bucks for less money the more you spend. They're upselling you on the V-Bucks. You get better value. You can spend $5 on V-Bucks 5 times and get less V-Bucks. Or you can just do $25 of V-Bucks and you get more. Do you see what I'm saying? So like, if you said, we make more money, the margins on these paintballs are better, lead with those. There is nothing wrong with that, brother. There's nothing unethical about that. That's being a savvy businessman. You are aware of your margins and you are serving the company and your employees by doing something to make the most money you can. And as long as you're doing it in an upstanding way, there is nothing wrong with that. It would be like saying you're a lawnmower guy, right? You're mowing the lawns, you're a lawn care guy, lawnmower guy. You're a lawn care guy, and you know that you make way more money if you use these 2 mowers in particular. They're faster, right? Maybe they're a little overkill for small yards, but you can crank through more yards in a day, and you charge more money for it because upkeep on those mowers is more, whatever. Buying them was more expensive, so you're trying to recoup cost, and you lead with those mowers every time. You're like, yeah, these 2 mowers, blah, 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 blah. It's better for you, by the way, consumer, because we mow your lawn faster. You don't have to hear us mowing your lawn for as long of a period of time. We're done quicker. And they're like, sure, I'll take it. Now, if they say, well, do you have other services? And you just lie and say no, well, then that's dishonest. If you actually have other services, if you have other mowers that are smaller, slower, and less expensive, and you make less money, right, that would be dishonest. Right, you're selling them on the express service. Yeah, landscaping, lawn care, either term works, right? Landscaping usually refers to more than just lawn care, right? Landscaping usually refers to like actually shaping of like right? Doesn't that usually go beyond just like mowing and weed whacking? Anyways, what do you guys call them? We call them weed whackers. Anyway. Yeah, so as long as, and this is why in this conversation, as long as Nintendo is being honest, I don't have a problem with it. This is why I watch you, because they actually teach me stuff. But yeah, I actually miss teaching. I used to teach. That was actually something I was going to get into. Lono does this too. He's got Member Plus, which is the best value, but there's Member Lite for cheaper, but it's not the best for either party. Right, exactly. Sorry, I had to sneeze. It's glorious, devs. Thank you. Holy cheeks. That, I mean, come on, bro. Like, I'm just here to tell you, boys. I'm just here to tell you. There are people who play video games, and then they're people who play the first Descendant. Bro, you're not playing that game. That game's playing you. That game is playing you. Astrocross said Jesus. I said, yeah, that is exactly who folks need. Y'all, listen. Y'all need the Lord, okay? Y'all need Jesus. I mean, come on now. Y'all need the Lord out here, bro. Get your butt to church. Get your butt to church. You know your mama wants you to go anyway, right? She's probably been pestering you about it, you know? And pastor's going to ask where you been. Y'all need Jesus. Anyway, hang on. Okay. I was making sure I didn't have like a new tip. Ginger says, preach. They're blaming Cross for single-handedly canceling Marathon. What do you mean? It's his fault. Doesn't he realize what he signed up for? Astrocross, listen to me, bro. This is in your contract, all right? You're a directory lead. So anything bad that happens to a Bungie game is your fault. Sorry, man. Listen, I know the money's good. Cross, but it's all your fault, bro. Like, believe me, I was there. I was there at the tip of that spear, bro, and it's your fault. If a gun got nerfed in Destiny, there was a time where it was Dado's fault. And then there were times where it was my fault. And now it's your turn, bro. So, sorry. That's in your contract. I need you all to let Astrocross know. I mean, it is his fault. Marathon getting canceled is 100% on him, dude. Well, I don't make the rules. Frick. I mean, sorry. Yeah. That's just the way that it works. You know? Is he streaming right now? Yeah, he's playing Elden Ring. He's got 2,000 viewers. Yeah. You get what you deserve, Cross. Get what you effing deserve. Marathon's canceled for real? No, people are just assuming that it's probably not going to make it. Yeah, no, it's not officially canceled, boys. Like, yeah, this is obviously a part of the whole gag. Like, it's not his fault, right? You know, but it's probably going to get canceled. Cross is a legend. He is. He's a good dude. He is a good dude. I have to say that I think the top of the Destiny directory got progressively more handsome, because it was pretty bad. And then it was me, and that's fine. But Cross, he really leveled that up for everybody. You know, he's handsome. He leveled up the eye candy for the directory. I mean, I'll just say it. He did. From what I heard yesterday, I hope Injustice 3 is in the works. I subbed to him to hear him do the 50 gifted subs. Oh, I've never heard his shout outs for subs. No. I have to listen to his content more. I used to be able to impersonate him really, really well, but I haven't listened to his videos in a while. It's excessive at times. Oh, he drags it out. Yeah. He's funny. He's an entertainer. He's a funny guy. He's good at what he does. It makes his popularity is not surprising at all. It's not. He's a worker. And he's smart. And he's funny. It's a good combination. He's actually got the trifecta. Like, he can throw down in games. Like, when you're skilled at games and you're entertaining, you have a recognizable or good voice, and you're good looking. Well, that's 4. Ugh. Golly, that's more than a trifecta. He kind of checks a lot of the boxes. Like, sometimes dudes are not very entertaining. It's like watching a fence post, right? But they're really good at the game. Sometimes people are not very good at the game, but they're entertaining. They make up for their lack of skill. You know, and some guys literally look like basement dwellers, but like they're very entertaining, they're very funny, or they're skilled at the game. You know what I'm saying? And then there's guys like him that kind of are blessed in multiple ways. You know what I mean? He's easy on the eyes, good voice, entertaining. He actually can throw down in the games. Like, he gets to check a lot of the boxes. It makes sense. Like, if you look at a lot of the guys that are successful, they're checking some of those boxes or all of those boxes. Yeah. Just want to make sure we're good. People are trying to stir stuff on Twitter. Yeah, I'm fine, Kirk. I don't necessarily... I obviously misread the timestamp on that tweet. That's on me. I still take issue with someone publicly lying about me. I don't care when it happened. It's like, okay, so it was 10 days before you said something nice about me getting my Twitch channel back, instead of being 10 days after. Okay, that doesn't really change what was said. You know what I mean? I think... who was it that was interacting with you? Brooklyn? Brooklyn's a ride or die. That's why I love Brooklyn. Like, we've talked about this before. I don't know why I appeal to y'all, and I mean y'all. I don't get it, but I appeal to y'all. And Brooklyn's ride or die. He's been in my corner for a really, really long time. And I think when people are ride or die, they get defensive. Like, you know. And I think he thought you were being, you know, something that I don't think you were being, right? I don't think you were being what he thought you were being, but I think his hackles got raised because that situation's annoying. That situation's annoying. It really is. It's unprofessional. It's ridiculous. It's completely uncalled for. It's completely uncalled for somebody with that level of respect and that level of status in the industry to be engaging with that account and saying the stuff that he was saying. It's inexcusable. It is absolutely inexcusable. And to get called out on it and to be like, oh, well, you had me blocked. Oh, so that you're allowed to lie about me? I have opinions on you. I'm not going to argue back and forth. We can talk in DMs. What the huh? I don't understand. You can just lie about somebody and then that's your response? Like, what the You appeal because we can't stand BS and neither can you? I don't if that's what it is, like, Dirge, I appreciate that. I've always had that strange, even when I played Call of Duty, that was the demographic that I vibed with. And I've never understood it because I've never tried to be like, did you guys see did you see the latest Drewski sketch where he's the white guy? Oh my gosh. It was ridiculous. I've never tried to be that guy. Right, I don't have any knowledge or history about any of the stuff to like try to fit in, but like I've always had that demographic appeal, even when I played Call of Duty. I don't get it. It's fun. I like it. I think it's cool. I think it's neat to see such different, people interacting on subjects. Right, skinny Ohio white guy who's like getting along with and vibing with people that are from completely different backgrounds and cultures. Like, I've always thought that was cool, but like, I don't get it. You just keep it a buck. Well, that's a cultural thing that I've noticed about y'all. Like, once you're ride or die, it can be pretty extreme, which I think I respect. I respect loyalty, and I think that's probably where that came from. Like, Brooklyn's a ride or die, and he's in my corner, and he thought, what the fuck are you doing, man? Like, he didn't like your posture or whatever. Dauntless says, who's y'all? Somebody help this man out. He said, who's y'all? Come on, man. They know who they are. Says, sorry, I just got here. Yo, Mike on the mic. Mike on the mic coming in with 1, taking us to 581. Thank you very, very much. I appreciate that. Yeah. Eugene says, white as F comment. Who is y'all? You just called yourself stupid in the new slang terms? What do you mean, you people? I was confused for a second because I thought you meant Kirk was part of y'all. The path is clear now. No. Yeah, I was saying that, like, Kirk was interacting with somebody that, like, I just think that's just a cultural theme that I've noticed. Lona, you're allowed to say black people. It's just a theme that I've noticed. And again, when someone hits that sort of status of ride or die and they're like, yo, that's my man, you know, what are you doing? What are you saying? You know, they won't take it kindly. And I feel like that's what that was. Like, he's like, what are you doing? You know what I mean? Why are you coming at this situation like this? I think, yo, Frank with the 5-bomb, thank you so much. I think his sort of interpretation was fair. It can come off sometimes as like, you attempt to be instructive to me as if like I need to be educated as to why I'm being attacked. Well, if you just did this, or if you just changed that, or blah, blah, blah. I got news for you, my friend, my brother, Kirk. It doesn't matter. They would do it anyway. I give off some kind of an energy, or what do the kids say now? An aura of like, people are like, F that guy. And there's nothing I can do about it. You know what I mean? A leopard can't change his spots. Like, so much of it, I think, is just my personality, my demeanor, the way that I speak, the way that I talk, the way that I think, the way that I break things down. I've obviously softened up, and I try not to be as crass and as like quick to insult, but I just don't think, vibe, whatever it is, like, I give off a pheromone that irritates the frick out of certain people. You could stop being so dislikable. Yes, people think that I'm just like, I need to learn that I'm not likable. And it's like, it's not that I'm not likable, it's that you don't like me. And you need to justify your dislike by projecting onto me some kind of a character flaw. Sometimes you just don't like people. You just don't get along with them. You've ever been in an office and you're like, you know, some guy comes over and asks a question, he walks away, and you like turn to your friend and you're like, this guy. And you both just agree that you don't like him, right? To me, it's in that instance, you can either be like, I just don't get along with some people, I just don't vibe with somebody, or you can do what I think is sort of the insecure thing, which is to project onto them some kind of inherent character flaw. Yeah, that guy's a blankety blank. And it's like, I don't know, I just think sometimes you just don't vibe with people. And there are people who really don't vibe with me, and they really don't like me, and they make it about me. Oh, it's Lono's fault I don't like him. No, maybe we just don't get along. Maybe you just don't vibe with how I talk or speak or argue. Maybe I'm oil and you're water. We're just never going to mix or mingle. That's okay. Like, that doesn't bother me or fluster me. Like, when I don't vibe with somebody, I'm never, like, threatened by that. Like, well, yeah, I don't vibe with them because they're a... It's like, no, I just don't get along with some people. You can't make everyone happy? Right. As a content creator, I just accept the fact that I am not going to appeal to everybody. That's just reality. Turning it into a character flaw or an inherent problem with me when you don't like me or you don't like my content or you have like Lono derangement syndrome and you pay attention to everything I say and do and clip me and constantly talk about me and you know, hate on me every single day. That's not my fault. I'm not the one doing that. You're doing that. Those are your choices. You know, choosing to get on someone's tweet and lie about me and say things that aren't true and to obsess over how I handle my business and to summarize it as like begging for money, that's a choice you made. That's not on me. There's no character flaw in me that deserves that. Like, I'm not out here doing those things. Summer Game Fest has 60-plus partners this year. It's a record number for them. It includes Capcom, PlayStation, Xbox, Sega, IO Interactive, Bandai. I hope Jeff finally has like a killer kickoff night because, man, they really starved him a couple of years in a row. They just didn't give him anything. Jeff Grubb said the in-person event's going to be kind of lame, but the actual kickoff event with Keeley could be amazing. Grubb got kind of quoted, and he was talking about the in-person event. In this case, it was just a question. I guess I was like disappointed you were falling out again and wanted to know why. It wasn't obvious the date was overlooked or that you two didn't shake hands and move on. So that clarifies it wasn't squashed and then unearthed again. No. If it was squashed and he said, hey, I've been out here saying some stuff on Twitter that, was from emotion and lashing out, that's not cool. Again, I don't want to do that in a DM. He said these things in the public. If you're going to lie about a man in the public, you need to correct the record in the public. Let the hearer understand there are so many people that have used their platforms to lie about me in the public. Not just this year, but in years past. It is their responsibility to correct the public record. Just moving on with your life or taking it to the DMs or deleting tweets, no. No. You can't just be like, that man's an abuser. That man begs for money. That man this. That man that. No, you can't just do that and then move on with your frickin' life. You correct the record like a man. You don't be like, well, yeah, I have opinions about you. No, those were not opinions. Those were lies. How can you not see the difference? I agree his comment was petty. It wasn't petty. It was dishonest. If the context is y'all were actively fighting. But we weren't. Huh? They weren't. What do you mean? We weren't fighting at the time. Nothing. Early April. I hadn't interacted with him for months at that point. You insult me a little bit when I have underdeveloped takes. I give you money every month. I know what I'm here for. Adam, yo, Big Evil, thank you for 28 months. Thoughts on the Dune game? I just don't really have an interest in it. I don't think it looks that compelling. Like I know people are vibing with it, but it didn't do anything. It didn't speak to me at all. It was not very kind. I don't know why he said that. I don't agree with him saying that. Yeah, and again, I'm just always going to come back to engaging with that account. Even when you did it the other day, Kirk, I told you privately, I'm like, you're just wasting your time. That individual's not interested in having an actual conversation. Uploading a 30-minute clip of me, that's just psychotic, bro. Again, and I know you were trying to be, kind to me or be like a, hey, you were trying to have a conversation with him. You are having a conversation with a fence post. You're wasting your time. You're not going to get the reaction or the response that you want. You disagree with me this one time, I'm still here, I like the content. That's part of the content. You know what I mean? Lono is only wrong when it comes to Black Myth Wukong not being Game of the Year material. I'm going to explain something to you, Wired Rope. Okay? History agrees with me. To the victor goes the spoils, you son of a... I won! I told y'all that game wasn't going to win. Go frick out of here. He says, damn history. I know Simply Pwned from a community of creators, so I was trying to tell him. I said, lots of people don't see his timeliness the way you do. Probably because they only see one post of his now and again. I don't know who you're talking about, Kirk. I'm not sure who you're speaking about. Wait, hang on, Mash said something. Give me 1 second. Mash says, I just butt heads with this guy on YouTube who uses big words like fiduciary duty, non sequitur, and astroturfing. I was talking to a creator guy I know saying, hey, this is a mischaracterization. Oh, was that guy on that tweet? He commented on that post. What's insane to me about that discussion, Kirk, is the free save mod is the most popular mod for Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. It's the conversation's idiotic. It's like fans of the game, even they prefer and download a mod that lets them just save whenever they want. They just don't want to deal with that. Like, my take on Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 is, dude, it's a lukewarm bowl of oatmeal. It is not a hot take at all. It isn't. People want to save whenever they want. It's a super popular mod on PC. And that sniveling idiot on Twitter is like, some games just aren't for you. Thanks for telling me that, you weirdo. Like, I stopped playing, and that was the primary reason why. And I admitted that, like, I can't get into a game like that. You're not educating me about a game not being for me. I'm simply saying it doesn't make sense from a design standpoint, and even large portions of the community that play Kingdom Come Deliverance, they agree with me. The save mod's super popular for the first game, and it's super popular for the second game. Are you going to tell everybody that downloaded that mod they're not a real fan, they don't really like the game, and the game's not for them? We didn't like when Randy Pitchford said real fan, but if you're a weirdo troll on the internet, I guess you can gatekeep who a real fan is. You're just trying to maintain this idea that I'm like a tourist because, like, I don't like a particular feature in a game that tons of other people don't like either. Are they all tourists because they download the free save mod for Kingdom Come Deliverance 2? You know what I mean? Maybe spend less time, fawning over your sister like a sicko and get some therapy. Like, Jiminy Christmas. Like, that guy, I don't understand. It's like, you don't even see reality, bro. That criticism of Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 is so tepid. Like, that's not even a hot take from me. It's so bland. I didn't even see that you were replying to a particular person, Kirk. I didn't even see that that's what you were doing. I was just like, dude, I would not get on these guys' threads or whatever. Yeah, he said, the guy you were replying to, Kirk, says, horrible take from a terrible talk show host trying so hard to be a commentator. I didn't realize I was trying so hard to do something I've been paid professionally to do. Has he hosted E3 main stage and interviewed devs? Has he shoutcasted professionally? I'm trying to be a commentator. I always love these guys that don't know who I am. You know what I mean? It's like, don't call it a comeback, bro. I've been here for years. Like, you don't even know. You don't even know. Trying to be a commentator? I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry that my take that you didn't like made you think that I'm trying. I'm trying to be a commentator, boys. Okay. Stupid. I remember the one guy was like, I know you're trying to make it in this industry. I was like, trying? Like, what? Okay. I didn't realize I was trying. I should do better at trying. I think people instantly lose the argument or my genuine consideration when they attack the opposing person rather than their points. Yeah, what's wrong with what I said about Kingdom Come Deliverance 2? Like, what's the issue? I don't get it. It don't make no sense, dude. It's so not a hot take. It's derangement syndrome. It's people have derangement syndrome with me. Like, if I say something, they turn it into, listen to this idiot. But what about all the people who literally make and then use and download the free save mod? Are those people on the same level as well? Like, it doesn't make any sense. With respect, I try at my job. I also get paid to do. Clients seem to appreciate the honesty and my just a little guy attitude. I think it's funny for people to act like I'm trying when, like, I'm successful and have done the highest level of commentating that you can do in this industry, short of doing, like, what Keeley does. You know what I mean? Like, main stage for E3 interviewing devs for Twitch. Like, you can't go higher. The only way to go higher than that is to be like Keeley. What are you talking about? Like, I'm not trying. Shoutcasting for an Intel game night at Fortnite? There's only one level above that, and that's like the actual epic Fortnite events. Like, what are you even talking about trying? He's trying to be a commentator. Like, no, I just shared my opinion about a game, which is what everybody does. And it's so, like, befuddling to people of, I guess, lower intelligence, that they're like, well, this is ridiculous that he's saying this. Huh? Selective outrage? Yeah, it's just selective outrage. It's like, I don't even selective outrage. I think it's derangement syndrome. It's like plenty of people think that about Kingdom Come Deliverance. It's why the mod exists. They're like, this is a rough edge I just don't want to deal with. I want to work on, exploring and getting better at fighting and getting better equipment and getting money and working on the campaign and, finding side quest items. A lot of people don't want to mess with that feature of the game. They just don't want to. This is you trying. I need you to try harder. Yeah. Peddler, I'm here to tell you, you guys are well on your way to the stretch goals. Okay, a full song stretch goal is high. What did we do at last? What was the full song stretch goal last week? Do you guys remember? I think it was 800. I'll let at 700. I'll let you hear some of the song. I wrote a song that, rhyming with peddler has been fun, but it's good. That's all I'm gonna say. It's a banger. It's a banger. I ironed it out this morning. Wrote it last night. Was it 800, JC, for the full song? Isn't just reading articles and giving opinions? Yeah, I mean, generally, that's what, commentators do. You pull up what's happening, and then you commentate. Now, I don't just read articles and give opinions. I did that for a while. Like, we would just sort of, read through an article, and I would commentate. We were doing that for, we had a channel called Updates, and that's what I would do for the Updates channel. My monologues and my takes are mostly me. I'll pull one or two quotes out, right? I'll pull one or two quotes out, read them so people know, this is actually rooted in an actual article or actual quotations. I wrote a song about Bungie called Bungie Steal This Song, which is set to country. That's good. This is a real effort, though, for me, Ginger, lyricism and music, and people have been getting to hear them on Friday nights when they kind of unlock it as a perk, and people have been enjoying it, and I've been enjoying it. It's more of an artistic exercise. I'm at close to 30 songs. We're gonna do an actual album release on a channel. Mine is real. Well, what I mean is mine's not like a joke. I guess I shouldn't have said real. Mine's not like a joke. It's like a genuine artistic endeavor. It's not goofing, which I guess yours is an artistic endeavor as well, but you're more of a comedian. Mine would, I guess, be more serious, is I guess the way I would categorize it. Well, I was about to drop the nastiest mixtape of the century. No, I do not sing. I write the lyrics, and then I use AI to make the music, and it's impressive. It's impressive. Is that person still in chat, Lone Wolf? I just now looked over. You guys can go back to the previous Friday night and hear a bunch of the music, and I let you guys hear an entire song called Discarded. Yeah, I've been using Suno, Ginger, with pretty good results, I would say. You should be singing yourself. I am not a singer. No. I can hold melodies and recognize them, but you would never classify me as a singer. You wouldn't stand next to me in church and be like, oh, good golly. I can match and maintain melodies, but I was always a drummer first and a singer never. I was going to say a drummer first and a singer last, but I've just never really been a singer. What do you think of the DLC for Kingdom Come Deliverance 2? They Murder Blip? I don't have one on my end. They offered to send it to me, and they could even send me a save file so I could jump into it, and I said no thank you. They didn't dislike my coverage, by the way. They didn't dislike my coverage. I got sent a collector's edition. I did a first impressions of the game, and actually I did my first impressions of the game, and they sent me the collector's edition after, and then they offered to send me the DLC. I don't think they disliked my coverage. There were people that tried to claim my coverage was negative. they're just lying. No, my coverage was very positive. No, I've not seen that movie yet. It's on my radar though, PL. It's called White Boy with No Rhythm. No, I actually have rhythm. You kind of need that to play drums. No, I do not dance. No. Did you enjoy the Guitar Hero games? I did not. If Dave Grohl can do it, then you can too. Discarded by Lono featuring S-Cross. No. No, that's not something that would ever happen, I don't think. That would not be good for him to try to, like, do anything with me. Perfect Image did submit this question. I didn't see it until just now. Oh. What happened? What got moved? You guys see that? Hang on. I must have clicked in the box somehow and moved it. That was weird. Anyway. Due to the fact the first Switch was easy to hack, how's Nintendo going hard? Oh, now they're going hard on the second. I mean, that's kind of the assumption. Yeah. Crazy views for a video posted an hour ago. That's not crazy views at all. Homie's got 1.6 million subs, bro. Review embargo just dropped. That's I would expect that from a channel that size. Reforge Records actually pays their artists. Fair exchange, no robbery. I just hope Nintendo opens up their platform for services like GFN, Xbox Cloud, PS Cloud. Oh, no, I don't think they'll ever do that. Yeah. No. No, I don't think so. Have you covered the Nightreign reviews? Yeah, I did that at the beginning of the show. They're about where I expected them to land. I kind of anticipated Nightreign being a little bit more tepid in its reception. I like that word. I've been using it a lot because like it's just such a good word for when something just is kind of like the reception's pretty lukewarm. It's not bad, but it's also not great. It's got like a 78 or a 79, Metacritic and OpenCritic. So when did you start writing songs and where did that come from? The first one I wrote, Your Throne Awaits, is the name of it. I couldn't tell. Let me see. I couldn't tell you when I wrote it. I think I wrote it. I can tell you when I wrote it because I DM'd the lyrics to Andrew Schwab. Let me see here. I wrote the lyrics to the very first song back in December of 2021. And then I wrote another one around the same time called The Riders of Death. And then I really didn't do much with it. Right? I really didn't do much with it. And I always had this dream of like, wouldn't it be cool to do an entire concept album with like Andrew or I'm also friends with the lead singer for Norma Jean. Like I can text them both. Like I did a podcast with Andrew for a while. I've not asked him his thoughts on that. They actually used AI for some of the stuff for their most recent album, Omni. So I don't think he would be like super anti-AI, right? He might have opinions on like how the machine learning is trained and stuff. But yeah, they use some of it for Omni. You say Norma Jean? Yeah. So, let me see something here. Jeff? No, like I'm Corey. Corey's his name. I couldn't think of his freaking name. I wanted to call him Brandon, but I think that's his last name. Right? Yeah, that's his last name. That's why I got confused. Corey. Corey, lead singer for Norma Jean, and Andrew Schwab, lead singer for Project. We became friends through, like, weird circumstances. Like, Corey was watching the show. He likes my content. I quoted an Andrew Schwab song from Songs to Burn Your Bridges By. And he sent the clip to Andrew, and Andrew and I connected and became friends. And so that was a while. That was a long time ago, actually. So I did a couple of episodes with him on his podcast, interviewing me about what had happened, you know, with my career getting canceled and stuff. And then he and I did a podcast for a little while together called Ceasefire, and then we stopped. And yeah. So I always had this this fantasy of, like, it'd be so fun to hand my lyrics to those guys, and it would be like a side project for them to basically do an album about what happened to me, like make it obviously just very angry and a lot of righteous indignation. And obviously that's probably never anything that would ever, you know, be possible. But this thing came out. Yeah, Bless the Martyrs, an amazing album. This application that Hilly was using, I went and messed around with it, and I was like, let me just throw my lyrics in here and see what pops out. So I told it, I said, you know, to mimic like a Project song, and it didn't sound anything like Project. And I was like, okay, that didn't really work, but it sounded really cool. And so I continued to do it. I got pretty much the entire album done. Like, I got like 10 songs written. And then I started working on the second album, and I just kept doing it. It's just like the lyrics were kind of like pouring out of me. Like, I would just sit down and know, I want to write a song about that person. I want to write a song about that thing that happened. And it would just kind of happen. And then I started to really refine the sound. And now I've had to go back and I've had to redo certain songs because they don't sound right. They sound, in the beginning, it was easy to be excited because it just sounded cool to hear my lyrics sung by somebody. And I know it's AI, but it was just crazy exciting. And now I go back and listen. I'm like, I don't really like the sound of these ones, right? And so I've been redoing a lot of them. And now I'm close to, like, I don't know, 30-something stinking songs. And I've played some of them for the community on Friday nights. I was really nervous about it, but then people, like, really enjoyed it. And my kids think it's fun. They always ask me if I've got new songs. And then so last week I said, I'll play a full song if you guys hit this crazy stretch goal. And you did. And so I played a full song. And so in light of everything that happened yesterday, I was like, all right, fine. If this is how things are going to go, this kind of stuff, for me, it's cathartic to write about it. And so I wrote a song. And I was like, I'm going to get this thing ready for Friday night. So if they hit stretch, I'll let them listen to the whole thing. It's cool. Technology's evolved to the point of allowing this to happen. Yeah, I mean, it's just fun. For me, it's an artistic endeavor. Like, it's fun. I'm not out here, like, I'm not going to, like, try and get rich off of my music. I don't have delusions of grandeur. Like, I don't think it's that good that anything would come of it. Sharing it with the community, sharing it with you guys, putting it out there is something that I plan on doing, but not in an effort to be like, oh yeah, that'll be my new gig. No. Yeah. Would you ever share what system you used? Oh no, yeah, I say all the time what it is. It's Suno. It's a website. You can use it right now. Yeah. I was going to cancel my membership because you're a beggar, but you're cool with Norma Jean, so I'll stay. Positive hobby for you outside of gaming. It really is. I've always been a bit of a writer. Like, I took a creative writing class in high school, and I was really I was a poet and would write short stories, and yeah. I would always have, like, ideas rattling around in my head. I've got a bunch of book ideas I've sketched out. It's just all stuff that I can't do because I do this full time. So it just kind of sits But this has been something that I can dabble in as a hobby, and it's been really enjoyable. So check out Hangman's Chair. What's that? So, and we're well fully off rails and off topic, and that's fine. But it is an incentive for this week. So right now, you guys, if you're new or you're unfamiliar with how the incentives work, when we hit the goal of 500, we do a Friday night stream with Madam, and we hang out with the members, okay? When you hit 600, you can make us play a game, because it takes a bunch of time for me to set that up. So we typically don't play a game unless you guys hit stretch. So stretch goal, which you guys are going to hit, because we're like halfway through the week. You guys are crushing it. We'll play some Roboquest for you guys. I'll set up the dual perspectives. I've got multiple monitors and multiple capture cards. It's really fun. I do the dual perspective thing with the Stream Deck. And then the next stretch goal, I'll play more samples for you guys. I'll let you hit more samples. If you hit the big stretch goal, which is 800, I'll play a full song. So I'll play a full song. I literally wrote this song so that you guys, so it could be the incentive for Friday night, because I was like, all the other ones I'm kind of like letting sit for a little bit. I don't want to necessarily put them out there, but this one I think you guys will like. No, you're not taking over the stream, Diogo. At this stage of the stream, there's nothing to talk about anyway. I'm fine to just talk about whatever you guys want to talk about. Lone doesn't have delusions of grandeur, just the next BTS. He'll go with the stage name, Shorty. Shut the frick up, Mash. Shut up. You and Pathalon are probably going to be the reason they get to hear the song anyway, so you don't, just because you do that, that doesn't mean you get to give me my stage name. Once everything's out there as well, I do have a name. I've secured it. I think it's a good name. We'll use it. You know, we will put everything under one of the the channels under the Reforge name, but the actual artist name for the songs is I've chosen. Lono doesn't mind talking about himself. Nobody does. Nobody does. What do I think if Apple releases a game console? I don't know. Probably not much. I don't know. I don't know if the market is going to be strong in reception to that. Yeah. How much does MASH have to pay you to dance? I really don't like doing the dancing, make a fool of myself thing. I don't know. I like to request a song, Wait Until. I don't want to flex my artistic efforts on stuff like that. And somebody put in chat, like I was going to make a diss tape about like one of the YouTubers out there. I don't really have an interest in doing that. If someone gets a song about them, it's like deserved. It's not, and again, it's not like petty. It's like an expression of, feelings and thoughts. King Thrash collab. Now that would be fun, because I'm pretty good. I'm pretty good with rhymes. You guys that have heard some of the songs, like some of the rhyming and some of the word choice actually lands pretty good. I mean, I'll say it. I'm a little biased, but yeah, that'd be fun. A couple of them I had to change the lyrics because the app would just assume I was writing a rap. It would start rapping, and I'm like, no. Some of the sections get a little like that, but it's just because I'm too verbose. It's like, you can't sing that, dude. You can't sing that. Seth Warwick with the $5 super chat. Did you play Doom the Dark Ages? What's your opinion of it? Thank you for the super chat. Yes, I am 75% of the way through. I think I have 5 missions left or something like that, and I've really been enjoying it. I have. It feels more like Doom the farther you go, but I do get why people aren't vibing with it. It is very different than Eternal. It's a bit of a regression. It's a bit of a regression. Like, if you thought Eternal was amazing, it's a step down from like player volition, speed, and movement. But it's punchy, it's fun, it's crunchy, I like it. I'm enjoying it. I posted a video. I was responding to Gene Park. Here, I'll show you guys the video. One of my favorite strats to use. Where's my video? Here we go. All right, so this is one of my favorite strats to use. So you can unlock a perk for the, what's the name of the weapon? The chain shot. The chain shot. I always forget the name of the weapon. So the chain shot, because I asked Gene why he thought it was so replayable. I was curious why he thought that. So the chain shot has a perk where every parry fully charges the next shot. I believe there's a similar perk for the rocket launcher. This is my favorite thing to do. So I parry, and then I shoot, and then I parry, and then I shoot. Against these guys in particular, it's really, really fun. It's like a perfect rhythm. It's very, very fun. You'll notice he's not going to do anything to me. This is literally a no-hit against this guy. It's like a perfect strategy. Oh, no, he did get a hit on me there. I thought it was a no-hit. Never mind. He got a little hit on me on that last one. He took a little chunk out of me. I thought I stayed no-hit in that one. But that is so fun. If you're in a 1v1 against somebody and you know the parry rhythms, especially that guy, you can literally like block, chain shot. It's very fun. Yeah. Can you sing live? I don't sing. No. I'm a lyricist. I'm not a singer. I'm a writer. I'm not a singer. I can write, but I cannot sing. 10% of the subs showing up within the hour. Oh, no, Chris, back to your question about that guy's video. No, it's not 10% of his subs showing up within the hour. It's his subs spin the video up, and because it's relevant, his video is probably landing on so many people's feeds, suggestions, home pages. That video is humming because it's relevant and he's large. Like, does that make sense? Hang on, somebody sent a tip. Sony Music Entertainment. We are watching and we will be claiming. Quit while you're ahead, buddy. Thank you for the $2.50 tip. Wired Rope. I know that's you. Did I miss this 27 minutes ago? Treddy, did I thank you for your 29-month resub with Prime? Did I add it to the total? I can't remember. Just put Eternal's music in the background while you play. That's what I did. The only frustrating thing about that is there are really great parts in Eternal where the music kicks on because something cool is about to happen. And when the music tries to do that in Dark Ages, man, oh man, it is not very good. I've gotten at least 8 free memberships to this channel. Well, if you ever want to pick up your own membership, what you'll need to do is turn off the ability to get gifteds. I'm curious on your thoughts of Dark Ages music. I feel like it's good, but not as impactful. Yeah, I don't think it's very good at all, actually. I don't think it's good. It doesn't really work. It's very, very, I don't know how to describe it other than like it's like flaccid. It doesn't have punch. Super chat from my man Super Googly. IGN gave Nightreign the same score as Concord. That issue is not with their score for Nightreign. The issue is the score for Concord. Like, I don't know why anybody gave Concord a 7. I can contribute to the lyrics. I tried so hard and stretched so far, but in the end, I'm not even taller. I had to ball, high chair and stall, and can't pretend it doesn't even matter. I want you to listen very closely to me, MASH. Stay in your fucking lane. I will be the one. I will be the one writing the lyrics around here, sir. You stay in your lane. There are certain swears that are perfect for moments like that, and that was a perfect moment for GD. But I don't say that. But you stay in your GD lane, like, would have been more comedic. I can't explain why. These are intangibles that cannot be explained. But that would have been funnier. There's more comedic value in that one than the one I chose. I am not playing the new Division 2 DLC. I've not touched Division 2 in years. I'm not a real big fan. If the Division 3 could win me back, but Division 2, I mean, I've, like many people, fell off pretty quickly. So. Rocket launcher perk is after parry. Self-damage from the rocket heals you. It's so satisfying. Oh, so you can do the same thing, like right up in their face. Are you gonna drop a deluxe merch bundle? I think we could do some pretty killer merch, especially for the artist name that I've chosen. I think the name's pretty cool. I told AI to come up with a couple of things, and I liked it. I would probably have it done legitimately, but not like by like an actual artist. And I could give them concepts from AI to say, hey, I really like this, to get them started. So we could end up having merch for the music. That would be fun. Can we get a song about the dang umbrella? If it's not King Shorty, I'm not interested. No, you guys are total a-holes. Lo Nostradamus? No, it's not Lo Nostradamus. Oh, gosh. Against the Abaddon Hunters and the Cosmic Lords, it turns them into health punching bags. That's fun. My favorite combo at the moment is Super Shoddy and the Ripper. Cycler is also insane. I use the shotgun to light people on fire to make armor, and generally that's all I need, and then I melee, get my ammo back. Like, I can pretty much... It's kind of unfortunate that you can kind of just, like, main the shotgun, but... Stage name, Prince Shorty Pro, PS Pro for short. You're an a-hole, Mash. That's pretty good. Prince Shorty Pro. Prince Shorty Pro. Yeah, my friends call me PS Pro for short. Yeah, it's freaking ridiculous. What about a Black Squirrel song? I love that the Black Squirrels have lived on in infamy. That was such a funny moment. Madam was so mad at me. She was like, you can't say that. I was like, I did. It is funny. No. I think Mash was cooking right now, Sissy Bear. No, I will not be turning any of this into a meme. I will not be doing that. I will not cheapen it. The Combat Shoddy and the Ripper is a good combo too. The shotgun gives you armor. The Ripper gives you health. That's not bad. I typically don't need the health, though. If you maintain your armor, your health gets untouched. Please tell me you have a song about hating geese. Here's what's interesting. I have an easier time writing music that's angry and like very like righteous indignation. That's like breathing for me. I know that's hard to believe. Being a little bit more positive, being a little bit more light, I can do that. But being silly, comedically writing, that I don't do. I can be comedic like in the moment. I can be funny in the moment. Like I can set up a joke like I did with the Black Squirrels. And I knew the punchline and I knew what I was going to say as soon as I started telling the story. You'll notice too, because like you can hear it in my voice. Like I'll get like a smirk in my voice. Like you know something's coming. You know there's like a joke coming. But I can't like sit down and commit writing and creative energy to being comedic. I can't do it. My brain goes, nothing happens. Write silly concepts as serious topics, confused the uninitiated. Right. Like when we were doing Hillbilly Jack and we were trying to come up with scripts, scenes, skits, and other things, I couldn't do it. But in the moment, you just let Hillbilly Jack play a game and stream. That's when things happen. Like you look like somebody gave you a haircut in the dark, like when I was playing Starfield. Those are moments that just happen. Like I'm dead serious. I can't write that. I can't write humor. I can't do it. Why does this mother effer really hate geese like this? A whole song dedicated to just judging furiously the behavior of geese. Once capable, now the strength is wearing thin. Heavy umbrella down, back patio torched by the sun. Like, if Deftones wrote a song about an umbrella. Yo, Sneaky with 24. Booster seat blues incoming. Man, y'all are being mean now. That's just mean. 587 on the week. Thank you so much. I appreciate that very much, Sneaky Wolves. 24 months. That's a red badge for you. Excuse me. As an Asian, I can tell you geese are delicious. I'm sure they are. I don't know why you hate geese so much. Dolphins are much more deserving of hate. Why are dolphins deserving of hate? Highly intelligent, social animals that have, like, literally been known to save people? What the frick is your problem with dolphins? Dolphins are dope. Dolphins are like the good boys of the ocean. They're like the dogs of the ocean. What are you talking about? You don't know? Them dolphins had it coming? Oh, is it a meme or a joke? I'm not up. I'm not up to date on why people don't like dolphins. Don't they do? They do? They're... I thought they were like good boys. They always look like they're smiling and having a good time. I'm sorry, but that sentence is too much. Brett's like, yes, dolphins are serious. They're serious-ists. Get out of here. I didn't know that. I don't want Lono walking out here saying he supports dolphins and getting himself canceled again. That's right. Man, friggin' dolphins are terrible. Oh. Oh gosh. Oh. Can you do a moonwalk? No, I cannot. No one told you dolphins are anti-consumer. It's been a good 5 years, guys. Yeah, we were rebuilding until I endorsed how great dolphins are. I'm done. I'm cooked. You know, Twitlongers incoming. I'm going to get Twitlongers from fish. Dolphins are doing it for the fun of it. That's terrible. They called him Flipper for a reason. Is this like a new development? Like, I've watched so many nature shows. I feel like I've watched propaganda at this point. They make dolphins seem awesome. It's almost like dominant species dominate. This is not a recent revelation. I guess that'd be pretty raucous to put into a documentary. You know, your kids are watching and they're like, you know, here we see the bottlenose in its natural habitat. And what you're about to see. You're like, what? I thought this was wholesome family television. You know? Oh. To save funds on meat, would you ever buy half a cow? I don't understand the question. Add otters to that list? Wait. Hang on a second. Are we giving dolphins a bad rap here? Isn't this just the animal kingdom? Isn't this kind of happening a lot in the animal kingdom, like across lots of species? Not all species, but isn't this true of like a lot of species? I mean, I've seen dogs just violate pillows. Like, come on. Like, what are we talking about here? The AI summary is awesome. That's what I mean. Isn't this part of the animal kingdom? Like, it's violent and terrible? The pillows had it coming. That's what I mean. Like, if you look at the animal kingdom, I'm pretty sure, like, the animal kingdom is full of just violence and terrible things. It's not like this morally upstanding, culture. Like, I don't think it's just dolphins. Like, you know what I'm saying? Aren't other stop it, Rogue. Aren't other animals pretty terrible too? Like, if you think about apex predators, they literally eat infants. They eat the young of the pack usually because they're the weakest and the slowest. You know what I'm saying? They're just picking off the kids. That's pretty bad. Animals alive while it's being eaten. The dolphin will drag you into the ocean, man. Oh my gosh. Viewers in the chat are discussing a recent incident involving Lono and his alleged support of dolphins. Many viewers are sharing their opinions on dolphins and making jokes about their behavior. His alleged support of dolphins. Oh gosh. We didn't complain about the dolphins eating the weak. We're down with that. Yeah. Wanton murder of the weak is fine. That is totally fine. Oh gosh. So you support or no? In 2 days' time. Listen, if he didn't do anything wrong, why did he apologize? Why did he admit to everything? He admitted to everything. He admitted to loving dolphins. He admitted to having VHS tapes of dolphins. Freaking unbelievable. Of all of the things that I would have ever have thought would turn in like a, no, what, really? Like, I would have never have thought dolphins being that. I don't think I ever anticipated, I can see a lot of things coming, where the conversation's going to go, what people are going to say. That one, no idea. I literally called them the good boys of the ocean. To me, they look like dogs. They're always smiling. They seem really cheerful. They'll like surf next to your boat. I've seen them rescue surfers. And you're like, yeah, they're not though. They're always smiling for a reason. They're like, we run this. Like, you're freaking terrible. I stood by this guy during 2020, believing he did nothing wrong, believing he did not do the things he was accused of. Now I hear this nonsense about dolphins. I think we can all agree there's a point of no return. And for that, I'm out. That was perfect, Nova. That was perfect. That was well written. Oh my gosh. This is some major projection. Dogs hump everything as well. You know why they're always smiling. They got plans. Yeah, they're schemers. I love being an hour behind the show and seeing the live feed out of context. He's like, what the heck is going on? At least it's not squirrels. This is true. This is true. I'll never live down my racial remarks about squirrels. That's a controversy that will follow me for the rest of my life. You know what I mean? Being called a predator. People are out here cheating in chess tournaments, but my racial comments about squirrels will eternally haunt me. I will never get away from them. The Diablo 4 hate I can take, but dolphins, says Donnie. This mother. They're both kind of dominance plays, but that's neither here nor there. You know what the worst part about all these conversations is a completely innocent and delicious fruit has now been pulled in and is associated with one of the worst things a human being can do. Imagine being a grape at the grocery store right now. And you're like, what the fuck is going on? What did we do? You know? Like, all these YouTubers out here censoring themselves, and grapes are like, really? That's what we're now going to be associated with? Are you freaking kidding me? They know what they did. Freaking grapes. That poor fruit just sitting there next to the bananas and the apples and the oranges. And they're like, what did we do? We didn't do anything. We're just out here being grapes. Just being innocent. We're just here to make wine and grape juice and wonderful things. And people are like, advertisement-friendly content's really going to be bad for you guys in 2025. Why are we willingly self-censoring? Well, YouTubers do it because it's a buzzword that can get your content, like, demonetized. You know what I mean? F the algo. Well, if you're going to make content about the topic, sure. If I'm just hanging out and talking video games, why would I give the bot listening device of the site a chance to hurt my video? Like, why would I do that? You know what I'm saying? Like, within the realm of content creation, I think it makes perfectly good sense to be like, yeah, I'm not going to say that dadgum word. It's not the topic of the channel. It's not the topic of the video. It's, you know, it's a passing funny conversation about dolphins. You know, I think when people do it in content where that is the topic, I don't get it. It's everywhere. I couldn't tell you why people do it in other places like Twitter and stuff, because I feel like the more scandalous the tweet, the more engagement it will get. So I'm not quite sure why people censor on Twitter and stuff when they're talking about it. I'm not really sure what the reason is there. Somebody could explain it to me. Maybe people think it's like a trigger word. Oh, the tick algo will blacklist. I could see that. Explain everywhere, like where? When people use the word on Twitter, Zuby, they're self-censoring. When people use the word in content creation, they're all self-censoring that word. It seemingly is because the machine of YouTube will pick up the word and say, oh, that's not advertiser friendly. And to be fair, it's not advertiser friendly. Are you wanting to advertise Coca-Cola on a video about SA? Do you want that? Like, do you want your, have a refreshing summer, crack open a Coke, and then some guy's like in a video talking about some just horrific crime that happened, like some court case or something. Like, I get why advertisers are like, no, thank you. Some people say unalive. Yeah. Yeah. It's a gross word, it's a gross thing. It's one of the few self-censoring things I'll get behind. Nintendo Switch 2 confirmed units in stores on June 5th and online June 6th. Okay. Oh, good night. I've seen Coca-Cola advertised during Planet Earth. I think it'll be fine. That's good, Brett. That's good. That's good. Self-censoring doesn't change it. No, it does, Eugene. It's like the people that react to trailers, Eugene, and they flip the video around and they do all of the watermarking. They're preventing the bot from automatically hitting their video. Because if the bot hits your video in the first hour, your video is screwed. So when people were really upset about that showing up in Andor. If you upload your video and in the first hour, the bot machine that listens to your content says, use the word limited ads, you've literally just got your knees just buckled by that hitting. So no, it's working. Oh, meant to be a reply to Patrick. Oh. Self-censoring doesn't change it. I thought you were talking about the content. No, within the content creator machine, it totally makes sense why people do it. Because when you get that auto trigger response and the bot hits your video, you might as well delete and re-upload the video. You're screwed, like the video's dead in the water. Which is all the proof we need that when something's not monetized, it gets less exposure. It gets less exposure. Like, and they'll say that they don't like diminish the reach of unmonetized videos, but it's totally true. You can see it as soon as it happens to your video. Let me ask you guys something. Do you think PlayStation being a part of this, do you think does this add any at all? I don't think that it does. I'm asking you guys. Does this add any credence to my prediction that they'll do a state of play to kick off the event? Do you think PlayStation would be involved just to show up to Keighley's thing with some trailers? That's what they do every year. I know. And every year they've done some kind of a state of play or showcase to kick off the event. Do you think they would still be involved if that's all they're doing is something less than they've done in the past? Like, would they still be involved if they're just going to give some trailers to Keighley? I'm asking, does it add credence to my prediction? We had the same convo last 2 years. We did. But right now, Eugene, we have two insiders claiming things. We have Detective Seed saying there's a state of play 40 minutes long the week before Death Stranding 2. Grubb says they're doing something in June. He has no idea when and what. He doesn't know if it's a state of play or a showcase. Death Stranding 2 is going to be at Summer Game Fest. Kojima's going to be there, yes. But that could be separate from PlayStation being involved. That could just be Kojima being Kojima. You're convinced PlayStation's not doing anything? Thank you, Rob. What's that name? Robaco with 3 months of subs on Twitch. Thanks for using your Prime on me. Guys, remember that when you use your Prime, you got to do it manually every single month. We are now officially 12 away from the stretch goal to make Madam and I play a game on Friday night. We will then move to the next stretch goal, which is music. I've been sharing my music on Friday night. So you guys can work on that, and then you can enjoy that on Friday night with my wife and I. Death Stranding 2 legit doesn't need another trailer. The last trailer was perfect. Just keep up the hype. Provide single-player launch trailer. There is a part of me that thinks Seed's information doesn't make sense to me. Why would you do a state of play for Death Stranding 2 a week before it comes out? Unless it's a state of play and Death Stranding is just like involved in at the end or something. I don't know if you would do a 40-minute state of play just for Death Stranding 2. No, Kojima Studio was not listed. So he could be there just because he's friends with Keighley. He could be there as a part of PlayStation's publishing efforts for Death Stranding 2. He could be there for his other projects that he's working on with Xbox. I don't know. I assume they're doing something until they don't because of the pattern. Right, like I have said, they'll either announce it today or tomorrow that we're getting a state of play next week on Thursday the 5th. My wife was trying to plan a double date with friends of ours, and she asked about next week, and I said, I don't know. I was like, you can't pick Wednesday or Thursday. I said, because literally, that's when PlayStation could do something. I don't know. That week is just a big question mark. The following week, I was like, that's fine, because after Monday, everything's kind of over. And then the week after that would be then when Seed says the state of play is happening. I don't know if we're going to get anything on the Xbox exclusive, Fuzzy. I have no idea. Fizzint or whatever it's called, the PlayStation one, that they're working on together, I think that's a PlayStation 6 game. That's like years away. I don't even know why they announced it. Sometimes even Tuesdays. It's rare for a State of Play to not be on a Wednesday or Thursday. Am I planning any significant Switch 2 coverage? Yeah. Yeah, I will do, the day I have it, I'll do a stream of gameplay of Mario Kart, probably. Anytime a big Switch game comes out, I'll showcase the gameplay. Yep. I would have a State of Play for Death Stranding 2 just because of how the first game landed from all those years ago. Summer Game Fest. Friday, June 6th. Accessibility Summer Game Fest. Wholesome Direct. There'll also be a future game show on Saturday. That's typically something that we cover. Metal Gear. Probably. An AOZ gifts a 5-bomb. Thank you so much, AOZ. And that's going to put us at 593. We are 7 away from the next milestone. Remember, boys, whoever hits it gets it. Whoever makes us hit 600 is who gets the gifted members. I don't think I'm paid up from the big battle between Pathalon Phoenix and... Shoot, I don't even know what I owe. 150. I don't even know what I owe. That'd be 20 and then some. 25? No. 30? I don't know. I don't know when the last time I paid when they went that crazy. I'll do a 20 for now and then Joker Quinn also does one, and AOZ says +6. So AOZ renews, and Joker Quinn does one, and that puts us at 595. We're a 5-bomb away. This is your chance, Twitch. This is your chance to steal it. A 5-bomb to 600. Yeah, I'm going to try Wu Chang Fallen Feathers, MASH. 7 out of 10. July 24th, MASH. July 24th is Wu Chang Fallen Feathers. And a 5-bomb comes in from Joker Quinn. He takes it. He takes it. We are officially at 600. All right, you guys unlocked Roboquest. And now we're going to work on music. Sharing the songs that... I think that's fun that's become an incentive. Like, I never would have thought that'd be all this yelling, says Super Gaming. I never would have thought that'd be something that we'd be doing. That's fun. It's fun for me to share it. You know what I mean? I've heard some of Wu Chang music. It's absolute fire. I don't think there's a Mind's Eye drop, right? Mind's Eye, Metacritic. No, I don't think it's out yet. I'm sorry, not that it's not out yet. The review embargo. You playing an instrument? No, I'm right. I've written lyrics to close to 30 songs. I've shared it on Friday nights a couple of times now with you guys. And I use an AI app to make the music. Madam doesn't think so? Madam doesn't think so what? She just doesn't... She is always instinctively protective of me and my ideas and what I work on, because she watched over the years when I was on Twitch, you know, larger creators would just straight up steal my ideas and do them. And then people would be like, why are you doing this thing that they're doing? And it's like, I actually was doing it first, but okay. And so her instinct is to be protective. Like, don't put your stuff out there. You know, once it's out there, you can't take it back. And I'm like, well, no one can steal this stuff, because number one, if it's debuting in my content and the lyrics are original to me, you know, She's protective because of her Soviet training. Yeah. We're doing Metal Gear Solid 4 relaunch by Konami. Yeah, I don't know. That's fair. Yeah, that's just her instinct. I mean, she watched everything I went through over the years as a streamer, and then when I got canceled, the lead up to getting canceled, what people were doing, the manipulation and the lies and the, leveraging contacts and influence and stuff. Like, she saw it all. And so she just, her instinct is just to be protective of, what I'm creating or coming up with. Because she knows it's important to me. She knows it means a lot to me. I'm not just doing it, and I'm not just doing it for the yucks and the giggles. What's the earliest we'll see Metal Gear Solid Master Collection Volume 2? I have no idea. Do we know anything about Fable and Perfect Dark development? I mean, Fable got delayed, and the early alpha footage looked fine. It didn't look like that good. It definitely proved that the trailers up to that point were not gameplay, which none of the people who gave me grief for all those years gave me any flowers. I wouldn't want their flowers, but Perfect Dark, no idea, MASH. I think that initial trailer was concept. I don't think that was actual gameplay either. I think it was simulated. Could we get 20 more likes on YouTube? Likes have been a little slow today, but it's just been a slow news day. She's your accountant, manager, lawyer, bodyguard, and hit girl. This is correct. Yeah. You want Guns of the Patriots on PS5 so bad? I'm not familiar with that. Oh, it's Metal Gear. Yeah, I'm not a Metal Gear guy because I was super late to PlayStation. I was an Xbox guy. So I missed out on all those games. Can't blame her. My wife would probably be the same way. Yeah, I mean, she's got pretty choice words and thoughts about, a lot of those people. Because she went to the events, she saw them, she met them. You know what I mean? She's very perceptive. Any good new looter shooters released? Nah, probably not until Borderlands comes out. If you like the vibe of Borderlands and you also like rogues, you should check out Roboquest. It just dropped on PlayStation. It's been on Steam for a while. It's been on Game Pass for a while. And it finally dropped on PlayStation. My wife and I played it last night, and we had a blast. They've added a bunch of features and quality of life stuff. I'm pretty sure when I play with my nephews, they did not have difficulty settings. And we put it on the lowest difficulty because I was just like, let's just see how this feels. Let's just see if we can kind of vibe with it. Because I remember it being pretty tough when I played it with my nephews. Like, we would die a lot and get sent packing. Madam and I had a blast. Like, we got far. We beat bosses. Like, it was a blast. And that's what we're going to play Friday night. You guys have unlocked that. Yeah, you guys have unlocked that. We need a music PNG for down there in the corner. That's the current incentive. Can we get like a music, like maybe like a speaker? No, I want like an actual PNG, not these fake ones. Yeah, that'll work. All right. The one night we did, is this going to have like a pretty aggressive watermark, or is this going to work? No, that's not going to work. That's got a pretty aggressive watermark on it. Watermarks on PNGs, man. The bane of like low-level use of stuff like this. Like, I'm not trying to put it on a flyer or t-shirt or something. Yeah, these are all licensable, so they're all watermarked. Microphone? No, a microphone would communicate like singing, maybe. Where can you go to get the discount for the PS5 Pro? Oh, you know, I said trade in this morning. You might not be able to do that. You might have to go. You might have to go to PlayStation Direct. You might not be able to do trade in. Let's try this one. Stupid web peas. Throwing around descriptors of Madam. Don't leave off Smoke Show. Don't ban me. I don't care. I don't care if you say that. I mean, I agree with you. Like, as long as you're not, like, you know, nasty about it. There we go. All right, that's the current goal. We got some speakers down there. I mean, I think calling her ugly or insulting what she looks like would be more offensive than saying she's hot. From Circana Player Engagement Tracker, a quick look at Star Wars Battlefront, a resurgence, starting with the re-release of Revenge of the Sith through yesterday, based in the U.S. People. I wonder if they're going to get their dream and, like, they're going to decide, yeah, let's do what we should do a third game. You know? Oh, GameStop is running the deals too, at least on the controllers, last I checked. Here, I'll just pull up GameStop right now. GameStop.com. Yeah, no, Days of Play is like right here in the center of their website. So I'm assuming, this is an assumption that you would be able to go in and do a trade-in. So $50 off the VR. What about the PlayStation itself? PS5 consoles. $450. That's like the normal price. It doesn't look like they have the actual PlayStations in the Days of Play. It looks like they've just got the VR marked down to $350, which is a great deal, by the way. And then all of the games. Yeah, so it doesn't look like you can, yeah. Sony PlayStation 5. Oh, no, you can do it on the Pro. The Pro has been discounted to the $650. So, yeah, you know, what I said was accurate. You could totally go do a trade-in right now of your standard PS5 and get the $50 off on the Pro along with your trade-in value. This might be a good time for me to finally pull the trigger and to trade in my disc version of my PlayStation 5 and get, you know what I mean? And get that. How do you look up the trade-in value? GameStop PS5 trade-in value. How do you look that up? It says right now, if I have my Pro Card membership, which I do, I can get up to $308. So I could get a Pro for $350 right now. That's not terrible. Because I have that third one, and it's just like if I got rid of it and basically turned it into a Pro, then I could leave a Pro in my office instead of I keep having to move it back and forth. Because my kiddos play on Saturday. And then when I play in the living room, it's just easier to move the one that has all my stuff on it. Base consoles are a bundle? Okay. Go for it. They said the price would rise. They did not say that the price would rise. That's not true. When does the deal end? Days of play runs typically like a week long, doesn't it? Oh, Mash, where are you going? Going to fly out to Portugal. Take care. All right, take care, Mash. You went crazy. You're flying directly from Toronto. Portugal. Oh, is it 2 weeks? Days of Play ends June 11th. So it will run basically all the way until, 2 weeks. So today till 2 Wednesdays from now. Yeah, 2 weeks. I thought it was a week, sorry. Well, that's the better way to make that mistake, right? It's actually longer than I thought. Pause. Do we know if GameStop is still doing trade-in for Switch 1 for Switch 2 discount? I actually don't know. I think you can always trade something in. But I don't know if it's... they were giving a discount on Switch 2s? When you traded in a Switch 1? I'm not getting a Pro. Doc told me it's a scam. People need to remember that he's hamming it up. He's being a character. I think people have a hard time remembering that. They think he's being like serious. You know? Yeah, the casting decisions for Harry Potter. Let me pull this up here and look at this. Yeah, I think the kids look perfect. They're all exactly right. Like they even got a girl to be Hermione who has teeth that will be somewhat like how they're described in the book. Obviously, just like most kids do, she'll grow into them and that'll be like how it is in the book, right? Like her teeth get fixed by Madame Pomfrey. Accidentally. Yeah, I mean, Nick Frost as Hagrid's great. Yeah, all these casting decisions are going to be good, I think. The Snape one's just going to cause controversy for no reason. I don't think they should have done that. That, I think, was just a stupid idea. But, like, I don't know why you would, of all the characters to do that with, I think that's a really dumb one to choose that kind of a swap for. But, yeah, the kids look great, though. They really look the parts. No Man's Sky went on sale for every platform. Update incoming? Probably. Seeing as you're a fan of Harry Potter, have you ever been to Universal Orlando? No, Her teeth got fixed. Spoilers! Yeah. It's cute how they do it. It's cute. Like, it's kind of endearing. It's like, you know. It's life-changing. That is something my kids will absolutely adore. We got to do it when they're of a certain age, though, right? Because kids get to a certain age where they would like it, but not to the same degree. Like, if we went right now, like, they would explode. You know what I mean? Someone had to be swapped. The thing is no. You know what I mean? No, they didn't have to swap anybody. That's what's so stupid about it. What are your thoughts on Arc Raiders? Really well built. I love the cinematic quality of the game. You can tell they were originally building a PvE game because the PvE stuff works really well. Like, the bots are awesome. They're a genuine threat. The AI for the bots is actually quite intelligent. I would love a PvE mode. I'm not a fan of the PvP. That's just my preference. I think it'll be a successful extraction shooter. I think it could be even more successful if it launches with a PvE option. Like, even Tarkov added a PvE option. If Tarkov added it, I don't know why you're acting like can't do it. Can't wait for HBO to adapt this line considering their casting decisions. Right. Like Lily Potter says, leave him alone. Well, she's not Lily Potter yet. What has he done to you? James Potter says, well, it's more the fact that he exists, if you know what I mean. That's... Oh, golly. You're going to have to change character arcs. It's stupid. It's a stupid decision. It is very stupid. I'm sorry. You're going to have to change character arcs. You're going to have to make modifications to significant elements in the story. It is so dumb. The way that Lupin and Sirius Black and James Potter, the way that they treated Snape is a significant part of The Prisoner of Azkaban. It's a significant part in The Order of the Phoenix. It's going to probably come up quite a bit, if I remember right, in The Half-Blood Prince. Like, those are huge elements of Snape's arc. Those are huge elements of those men's arc. And you've got to change it all now because it's not going to feel the same if, like, do you really want all those men to be portrayed as, like, they were picking on him because, I mean, the obvious reason since they cast a black man, like, that completely changes the fabric of his arc and their history. I don't know how you do it without changing it, neutering it, or removing it. I don't know how you do it. Why Snape of all characters? Yes, the one described with like sallow skin, and the one that lives in basically a dungeon and has like greasy hair, and he looks like sickly and dead, and because of his appearance, you know, Longbottom is terrified of him. The whole thing is stupid. It's so stupid. Of all of the characters to do it to, it's like, this is going to have so many ramifications in storytelling. How are you going to go back and not make it seem like something it isn't? That's not what it is in the books. That's not why they pick on Snape. How are you going to make it not that? How? Those are huge elements of his background with Sirius Black and Lupin and Potter. It's Snape's disdain and treatment of Potter in the earlier books. Like, so much of it, he references his dad. You're just like your dad. You're arrogant and you think you can break the rules. Like, you can't take that away from his character. You are ripping a huge fabric of not just his character, but the entire story and the huge reveals at the end. Like, you're going to lose all of that if you have to neuter it because you decided to do some weird race swap. It's stupid. It doesn't make sense. It'll be about his skin color. But that's going to completely ruin certain characters. That's going to completely ruin certain characters. Do you really want to think that about James Potter and Lupin and Sirius Black? They're great characters. James is complicated, but he was a kid. He was a teenager, right? And people can be cruel. But Lupin and Black? Like, what are you doing? It's so dumb. I tried to say this in the Discord and called this. I don't think anybody in our Discord would have said that about you. Come on. In the Percy Jackson show, which I didn't even watch, they chose Lance to play Zeus, who isn't obviously black. He still played a fantastic performance. I watched the clips. Guarantee they insert woke racism as a plot point? I don't think J.K. Rowling would be okay with that. She does not strike me as the kind of person. Like, I'm surprised she's okay with the casting. I'll be honest with you. It doesn't seem like something that she would want attached to her body of work, because you're going to change so much to make that work. I'm really, really surprised. Just to spite her? What do you mean? She's involved. She's not going to be hands off. It's literally her life's work. She's not going to be like, that's fine. You guys do whatever the frick you want. While you're at it, make everybody gay. Like, she's not going to be okay with that. I'm surprised that she's okay with that casting decision, because it will have ramifications throughout so much of the story. Everybody's trying to downplay it. You can't downplay it. You can't. I'm actively reading the books to my kiddos right now. It will fundamentally change significant portions of the story. She's already complaining. I would think she's actively going to get them to not do it. She has to actively be saying, you can't do this. You're going to change literal story points that will not just make changes to the story. It will change what we think about characters. Characters that are beloved will suddenly become nasty and not likable. Like, you want to think that about Sirius Black and Lupin? Like, they're liked and beloved in the story. They're at some level, Sirius Black is a hero, and you're going to do that to him? You're going to make part of his history complex and interwoven with something that was never a part of the Harry Potter story or the Wizarding World. It wasn't. Now, yes, classism is with the disdain for mudbloods, but that is not a racial thing. It's a classism thing. It's a you're beneath us. You're not a pureblood. That's completely different. That's not the same at all. The sequel play, Hermione was black. I don't think she minds. And having Hermione be black, like as an adult, that's not the same. Because part of Hermione's treatment as a character didn't center around that. It centered around her frizzy hair and her bucked teeth. That doesn't change that. You could still have her have frizzy hair that looks unkept, and you could have her have buck teeth. But she's an adult now. Her teeth have been fixed, and she probably takes better care of her hair because she's not a child constantly reading books. You see what I'm saying? It's purity superiority complex. Right. And here's the real kicker. That is super duper villainized in Harry Potter. It is. Lucius Malfoy and the Malfoys and the people that think purebloods should be the only ones allowed at the school, and they call people like Hermione mudbloods. That is severely villainized in the story. And then you're going to have in the mix, you're going to have Lupin, Black, and Potter, James Potter, mistreating and picking on a black guy. Like, that's going to be super weird. Like, how do you not make that look like what it's going to look like? I don't know how you do it. Someone's at my front door. Hang on. I don't know who that is. It's the lawn guys. Hang on. I gotta get this. Sorry. What is this username? Account created 32 minutes ago. Yeah, get out of here. If I recall, Marauders were in Hogwarts around the 70s. I'm not an expert. Yeah, that's my frustration with it, Siriu, is it's like they made the decision literally knowing what it was going to do. And it's like, why wouldn't you just say, this is the direction we're going. This is what we need. You know what I mean? Like, you wouldn't hire like a bone skinny guy to play Hagrid. It wouldn't work. You would say, no, that doesn't make any sense. We're not going to do that. This is what we're looking for. This is the appearance that we're looking for. This is what we want for this role. I just don't know why you wouldn't, for Snape, say, this is how he's described. This is what he looks like. This is what he looks like in the movies. This is what he looks like in the approved illustrated editions of Harry Potter. It is a part of his character. It is a part of what he embodies, his presence, the reason that one of the main characters is fearful of him. To change that is, to me, I don't know. It just doesn't make any sense. Because usually the pushback is, it doesn't matter, it won't change anything. And it's like, that is not true. Rowling has said she doesn't have the power to remove a casting choice. Yeah, I again, this is one of the rare instances where I'm on the other side of it. And I'm like, no, this makes a significant difference. It does. Like the thing we're hearing about Meryl Streep for Aslan with Narnia. I mean, you're just going to ruin it and you're not going to make any money because it's just going to get eviscerated and your target audience is going to ignore it, and you're not going to like find some mythical modern audience. It's like, I can't wait to watch a Christian allegory, like, because they made Meryl Streep the lion. Like, people are just going to hate it and boycott it. It'll get eviscerated. It won't work. Yeah, we covered the Nightreign reviews. We did. Like, the Narnia thing is literal destruction. Like, it's literal assassination of a character. Like, you can't make Aslan a woman. That's stupid. That's worse than, like, character assassination. It's worse. It's like, that's not the story. That's not what the books are. That will not work. People will hate it. And it'll be justifiably hated because it's a stupid, self-indulgent, and reckless decision to take such a classic piece of literary work and to just crap on it because you want to be, I don't know, progressive, whatever dumb, cheap word you want to use to excuse it. You know what I mean? Are they actually doing it now? I'm saying that if they do, like if that actually happens, you've ruined it. You will throw money in the toilet. It will be one of the worst, most non-received, most fundamental failures. It'll completely fail. It will not do well. You can't do that. It won't work. You can't take something like that and do that with it. It won't work. It would literally be like If they would have done that with like the Lord of the Rings, they would just made like Frodo and Sam, like a couple of buxom, bubbly girls. People are like, "What the frick are you doing?" Or like you make Aragorn a girl, you'd be like, "What are you doing? Like, why?" It's not even, you're not achieving what you think you're achieving. It's so cheap and stupid. Yeah, exactly. Like Gandalf shows up and it's Galdalf. It's like, what the frick is this? Yeah, just let Meryl Streep play Jesus in The Chosen as well. That'll be super progressive. Just have her walking around. It's dumb. It doesn't, like, write your own stories. You know what I mean? Write your own stories. Don't take something like that, especially Narnia. It's like one of the most praised literary works out there, and it's also the probably, again, I said this the other day when I was streaming with Madam, next to Bunyan's Pilgrim's Progress, it's the most one-to-one allegory of the Christian faith. Like, how idiotic could you be? We're going to take the most clear one-to-one allegory to a religion that exists, and we're just going to make the lion that represents the central figure of the faith, we're just going to make it a girl. Like, what the frick? Are you an idiot? That's not going to work. No one's going to support that. I can't even imagine people that are like progressive or like, you know, even an atheist would be like, that's just creatively stupid and bankrupt. Why would you do that to the story? I can't imagine anybody supporting it and thinking that like, it won't affect the story. Yeah, sure, it won't affect the story at all. You're right. It's dumb. Yeah, the rumor is that Meryl Streep will be voicing Aslan in the Narnia movies that Netflix is doing. And I'm like, why don't you just take the project out back and put a bullet in its head then? Because that's what you're doing. No one is... The audience that is excited to have those movies made again, since the earlier ones from a while back, they're fine, but they kind of went off the rails after the first one. The people that are going to be the most excited to see it, they will not watch it if you do that. So who are you making it for then? Even people that are like on the fringes of Narnia and like they know about it and they know about the Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, even they would be like, what? Like, yeah, Tolkien and Lewis went back and forth about that. Lewis always told Tolkien that his references were too vague, and Tolkien always told Lewis that his allegorical work was too literal. They disagreed on that. Sometimes I'm convinced it's not about making money, it's about destroying existing movies and franchises. You can't destroy Narnia, though. You can't destroy The Lord of the Rings. You can't. Like, they've stood the test of time. They're great literary works. You can't destroy them with a crappy movie. Your movie will be forgotten. The stories won't. All you're going to be remembered for is being a crap director. I guess if you want to ruin your career, that's a great way to do it, is to do a film adaptation of a world-famous literary work and to do a crappy job. Not to burst your bubble, Jesus is already going to be played by a woman? Huh? What are you talking about? I don't know what you're talking about. The Chosen is already a show. Are you talking about something else? I don't care about irreverent works that have mocked, you know, the Lord of all. I don't care about that. People have done that since the beginning of time. Did they say she's voicing him, or did they say that they're changing Aslan? There's been plenty of female voice actors that voice male characters. There is literally no way Meryl Streep has the vocal range to do what you need for that character. His voice needs to rumble like thunder. He needs to sound terrifying and gentle at the same time. You need somebody who is extremely gifted in that level of vocal depth and range. I don't think Meryl Streep's going to be able to do that. If she you're welcome to prove me wrong. If she does the voice of a man convincingly, then I don't freaking care. But I have serious doubts that that's in her like body of work. Yeah, you need like the guy who voices Kratos. Like you need that level of vocal fry and bass. You can't. Meryl Streep's voice doesn't sound like that. I don't know. I mean, I don't know if her body of work includes that. Has she ever done anything where she can embody that type of voice? That's not easy to do at all. A lot of the times you've got to get somebody like Liam Neeson who naturally has a ton of like bass in their voice. Like they're already down there in that lower range naturally. You know what I'm saying? Like if you could get someone like Christopher Judge or the guy that took over for Lance Riddick, he's got an amazing voice. Tony Todd, rest in peace, he could have maybe done it. He might be a little bit too rough with the vocal fry. It needs to have a gentleness as well, not just scary. Meryl was in a metalcore band. She's got this. Yeah. We know the range. Yeah, Keith David. You know the range. You need people like Keith David, James Earl Jones, Christopher Judge. You need that. You need that level of like voice to bring the presence of, it's a lion that's talking. Like you have to understand, like that alone is not an easy thing to do and not make it look kind of corny and dumb. That's a challenge in and of itself. It really is. To make animals speak and to have it look good and to have it be compelling and convincing, that's already challenging enough. The last thing you want to do is have Aslan open his mouth and like Meryl Streep's voice comes out. You're gonna be like, what the frick? Like, especially considering she's super like iconic within the history of film. You're gonna hear her. Yeah. You need gravitas? Yeah. He also needs to be a man. It won't work if it's a lioness. His mane is a part of the allegory. His mane is a part of the allegory. Dear Lord, they're lost if that's where they go. They are absolutely fundamentally lost if they go forward with the decision. It will absolutely bomb and not do well. The misogyny in this chat? No one's being misogynistic. What are you talking about? What voice acting is for? I'm going to Greece for 10 days, so I probably won't be here for 2 weeks. We'll have a fun trip. They're talking about using Meryl Streep for Aslan in the Chronicles of Narnia. I don't know what to tell you. Don't they cut his mane to reduce his power? You're thinking of Samson. They cut his mane before they kill him to shame him. It's an allegory of ripping the beard hair out of Jesus' face. They bind him, they shave him, mock him, beat him, and kill him. You're thinking of Samson. There's no power associated to Aslan's mane. Casting lots for his clothes. They don't do anything with that. He doesn't have clothes. He's a lion. Like, they don't do anything to that. Remember them shaving him? Yeah. Yeah. It's about as one-to-one as it gets. That's right. Like, you can't... It'll just be super, super weird, you know? Oh, you were being sarcastic, Kevin. We got to use that kappa. I was like, oh my gosh, that is not what's happening right now. She's not the best She isn't the best choice. Even if you were doing a female voice, she's not the best choice. Because all you're going to do is hear her. With Liam Neeson, with respect, it was really hard not to just hear Liam Neeson, right? She crushes every role she gets into. That has nothing to do with vocal work. That has nothing to do with, like, embodying a lion. Like, when it's an Narnia movie? No idea. I don't know. I was actually excited when I found out the director was raised Catholic. I was like, okay, she's going to have some of that reverence and respect, even if she's no longer a practicing Catholic. She'll be familiar with the imagery and the importance of the imagery. She'll respect the work. But then she said something about being rock and roll with it, and I was like, okay, I don't know what you mean by that. And then we were hearing that they're considering Meryl Streep for Aslan, and I'm like, well, just put a bullet in the head of the project. That couldn't be any more idiotic. Like, there have been some idiotic decisions over the years with, like, we're just going to change the story and do our own thing. That's going to take the dadgum crown. That'll be the crown jewel of stupid casting decisions for the sake of progressivism, I guess. It's not very progressive. It's stupid. Like, it's dumb. You will never be able to argue, even in the best way. If you try to steelman an argument, there is no argument to be made for her voicing a lion in a Christian allegory, and the lion is supposed to be Jesus. Like, you talk about assumed mockery. Like, no one's going to look at that and be like, oh yeah, they have good intentions. They're going to be like, well, what the frick? Wait, this is such an obvious affront. It's an obvious affront to a faith. It's like, what are you doing? It will be and should be interpreted as mockery. That's a form of mockery, to take a work that you know is an allegory to a faith and to do that. It's like, what the heck? There's no good way to look at it. There isn't. And you'll kill the project before it even gets out the door, because I know they want to do more than one movie. You will absolutely murder the whole project. You will. It'll be like, what? You're not gonna. You'll get the whole thing canceled. You'll get the whole thing canceled because it'll absolutely fail. Controversy doesn't turn into dollars in these situations. I refuse to watch. I won't watch it. No, and I'm not one to be like, I'm going to boycott. No, I will legit not support it. I'll be like, this is insulting. This is an offense. This is not funny. It's not some, progressive inclusive move. It's idiotic. And when it fails, who do you think will get blamed? You will not be able to backflip, contort your way into saying that people would be, being hateful and regressive and misogynistic. Like, if people attempt to do that, that will be laughably dumb. And be like, no, like, if you do that with a story like that, nobody has to support it or endorse it or be okay with it. You're not entitled to anybody's money or support for your project when you make such a boneheaded decision. Is this something you'd find offensive based on your religious beliefs or background? I would be offended for any religion if this is what they did with somebody's body of work that was an allegory to their faith. Like, if there was some famous allegory for Jewish or Muslim persons and somebody got a hold of the work and was going to bring it to film, and they took the central figure of a man and made it a woman, I'd be like, that's insulting. Why are you doing that? It's so disrespectful. It's like, number one in this case especially, it's super famous. It's a famous literary work from one of the most respected authors, like, I don't know, ever. And you're going to take the central figure in the allegory to the Christian faith, who is supposed to be Jesus, and make it a woman. There are other ways to admit you're an idiot, or that you just want to thumb your nose at an entire group of people. Like, if you think globally here about the people that would be excited about this project, anybody even remotely attached to the Christian faith, whether you're Catholic or you're Baptist or whatever, It doesn't matter. It's millions upon millions of people that would be excited to see this story brought to life again, because the movies now are pretty old, and they're fine, but they're not the best. And they're all going to say, I don't want to watch that. That's insulting. That's offensive. Like, no one's going to look at it and be like, well, let's give it a try. Look at the way this stuff is treated right now when this kind of thing happens. Like, it's going to be mega divisive. It'll be severely boycotted. It will likely financially fail. I can't see it being successful. There are people who probably aren't even within the faith that would be like, that's stupid. Why would you do that? And they wouldn't support it. They wouldn't watch it. There are people within what they sort of view as like the battle for this kind of thing and like the fight, who might not even be in the faith. And they would be like, yeah, that's ridiculous. Aslan's Jesus, I didn't know that. You didn't know that? Again, outside of a book by John Bunyan called The Pilgrim's Progress, this is the most one-to-one Christian allegory body of work that exists. It's the most one-to-one. Pilgrim's Progress is like super one-to-one. And then C.S. Lewis's work, the Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, is like one-to-one allegory of the death and resurrection of Christ. Till you mentioned, I had no idea there was any inferences. You had no idea that Aslan was Jesus until now? Oh, wow. That's surprising to me. Yeah. Super one-to-one. Yes. It would be like changing the screw tape letters into a conversation between God and an angel. Well, that could be like an inspired work that could take on a whole different meaning that could be positive, but it's something that most people in their 30s and 40s would know about, but I doubt Gen Z. Yeah, Charlie. Yeah, moist critical. Yeah, I mean, again, the audience that's going to be like gung-ho about it and excited about it are going to boycott it if they do this. Did you ever read Fellwinter's lore in Destiny? I feel like way back in the day we did, but I don't really remember. Yeah, it's probably not required reading. A lot of kids read The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. Even if you didn't go to like a Christian school, you would have probably read The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe when you were in like middle school. It's considered a great work. It's considered something that's good for children to read. You can be an atheist and you could be like, no, that's a good body of work. It's good. It's good for kids to read that. But yeah, it might not be required reading in schools these days because of the fact that it is a Christian allegory. I don't know how you can know the story and not see the allegory. You might know the story from a distance. You might just know that like kids go into a strange land and there's a lion. And if that's all you know, like if you actively watch it and you listen, it'd be surprising that you wouldn't know. But maybe you were raised in an environment where like you didn't really go to Sunday school or go to, vacation Bible school, and like all those things that like a lot of Americans grew up doing, even if they're not practicing Christians. They grew up around the stories, and so they would watch the movie and be like, oh, I totally get it. But if you didn't grow up in those environments, then you might not pick it up. Yeah, a lot of the times you wouldn't even really teach the allegory. You would just have kids read it because it's good for their imagination. It's good for, thinking through just an adventure story and thinking about like other worlds and other lands. Like, as a work of fiction, it's really, really good at creating this other place that you kind of want to go. You know what I mean? Had no idea when it came out, was 5 years old. Yeah. So the thing is, that's the point, is you're really playing with fire. You're not just like taking some children's story and changing the prince to a princess. Like, you're taking a story that has a lot of weight to it for a lot of people, and you're changing the central figure, like the most important figure in the stories is Aslan. This isn't like changing Tumnus, the fawn, into a girl. Like, people would obviously be upset about that, but they'd get over it, because like Tumnus is like there and not very quickly. Like, he's there, he plays a pretty significant role at one point, but he's a very minor character, you know. Same deal, if you change the White Witch into the White Wizard, it would be stupid. It'd be like, why would you do that? It doesn't have the same ring to it, doesn't have the same feel, you know. Her interaction with the kids when they come in would feel very, very different if it was a guy, you know. Like, it would be stupid. It's like there's just no reason to change such a fundamental character like that. Doesn't matter that much of Tumnus. Yeah, but Aslan? Exactly. It's like, I don't know how you do it. He's a lion with a mane and a big, huge, scary, rumbly voice. That there's not another thing. Outside of changing him, change him to a horse while you're at it. You know, just change everything at that point. Yeah, the lioness, the wizard, and the amore. and the armoire. Stupid. Absolutely stupid. I gotta set up green room. It's 2 o'clock. I love when we have topics like this. Yeah, non-gaming stuff. I mean it. You might as well just change him from a lion at that point, you know? Just call it the field mouse, the witch, and the wardrobe. Like, just change the animal while you're at it, too. Like, there's so much significance in choosing a lion. There's so much significance in making him terrifying and yet gentle, big and scary, and can bring comfort and protection, but can also eviscerate you. Like, Lewis brilliantly chose a lion. It wasn't like a happy accident that he chose an animal that we sort of look at fondly and yet we look at with fear and reverence. It's a dadgum lion, right? He very wisely chose a lion. But the minute you change it to not a lion, like, everything falls apart. He's known as the king. Lions are viewed in a kingly, regal way. There's obviously, yes, the Lion of the tribe of Judah, that terminology from the Bible, but you know, a lion is viewed in a kingly, regal way. And so choosing a lion, there are layers upon layers of brilliance in what Lewis did choosing a lion. And that all falls apart if it suddenly is voiced by a woman, because again, is it not going to be a lion? Is it going to be a lioness without a mane? That completely changes everything. And it completely changes the fabric of the character. You're not going to have this rumbly, scary lion. You're going to have a woman's voice. It's like, what? For a big, huge lion? Like, what the heck? That's not going to work. Let me need you to watch and react to this live right now, please. Fortnite? Why would I watch something about Fortnite? Just make Aslan a dolphin. Christopher Judge would do an amazing Aslan. So they're doing a Star Wars event in Fortnite? It just seems like I'm going to leave my mark on this. Yeah, you're going to leave your mark on this. It's going to be a giant L. It'll flop. It won't. I'm telling you, It's almost guaranteed failure. It's almost guaranteed failure if they do this. It's not just an event. They're putting Star Wars points of interest on the map. Oh, that's really freaking cool. Was that Jedi Luke? Oh, that's hot. Love it. A female Wookiee. Pretty wokey. Excuse me. Samurai Vader. Yeah, and then Sith Jar Jar. Oh, wait, hang on. The Death Star is going to destroy the map. Are they going to do a that guy's really late on that Lupo video. He says this one mistake destroyed a top streamer's career. He made the video like a day ago. I don't know if it destroyed Lupo's career, dude. I think Lupo will come back and probably just start streaming again. I forgot to read this. I'm sorry, Murphy. Murphy's Little Camera Addiction with 10 months says, Death Stranding 2, Mind's Eye, Space Marine Remaster, FBC Firebreak. Are you excited for any of these? Firebreak, no. My mind has kind of changed about that one. Space Marine Remaster, no. Mind's Eye looks bad. Death Stranding 2, yes. All right, I'm setting up the redirect for Green Room. Twitch, that means that the chat becomes sub only. Hey, thanks so much for being a paying member on the YouTube channel. If you're watching the tail end of the live show on YouTube or either on Twitch, this is a segment that we do for paying members only. Eventually, Twitch will have to be a sub to even watch this segment. So when you are a VIP or a Member Plus on YouTube, it supports me directly, and that's a huge push that we're having. So right now, if you can afford it, the $6 a month to do Member Plus as opposed to a standard membership or a gifted membership, we greatly appreciate that. We need that number to continue to go up. It's how I do this full time. I'm going to end the previous stream and redirect folks over. The interface for redirect looks